to come and watch some sports.
Certainly, we'll be seeing quite a bit of leadership from Curaçao's Jordan Kirsten is the captain this time around as well, and looking to make an impact. Leroy Kirsten, Bjorn Utleg, and then there's a pair of brothers as well, Andre and Arturo Medema, certainly going to be lighting it up. And then for Turks and Caicos in the red stripe, looking for Caddis Simmons to start from the beginning, lead from the front.
Kickoff is good. Curacao got it on the bounce, looking for the 2-on-1. Just free the hands over and off to the races is Curacao. He won't be caught, and easy as you like it, Curacao starts the competition with a big try of the first play of the game.
I mean, you couldn't have written a better start right away, right into it. Within split seconds, we have our first try of the day. Opposition looks a bit stunned. We'll take one more look at it. It's that bouncing ball, which sometimes can be very difficult to manage. The little goose step and a nice offload. The game is all about support, and then it certainly is about rocketing to the end goal. And try score was number 8, Leroy Kirsten, to get the first points on the board.
And in this form of the competition, when you score, you get to kick it back off. Proper tactics are involved. As we see, the game gets us back going with Medema. And that's one of 2 Medemas on the team. Andre Medema gets us underway. High kickoff, unable to catch it. The referee says knock on in the catch. And we're going to have our first scrum of the competition. Just remember, for those viewing at home who's not familiar with the rules, once the ball is knocked on the hand going forward, we have a scrum to the non-offending team as we get this one going again.
And lends itself to, we saw typically what teams are looking to do is win the high ball, right, at sevens, making sure that you pick it out of the air, because as we saw in the bounce, typically it can be tough to handle. But Curacao was able to manage it and work to their benefit.
As we see, the referee's not happy with what's going on, just going to keep it straight and stable for security. Scrum off, Bajon outlet is going to get himself back underway. Just 2 minutes gone so far. Curacao in the lead. Easy scrum, trying to push it all right. Medema just shows the play back into the traffic. Big stiff arm looking for the overlap. It just doesn't go to hand. Bundled out into touch. It seems to have gone off the Turks and Caicos player, signals the AR, but he seems to have changed the decision, and we see the strong wind coming in from the east.
Now, just a little bit of mismanaged, sort of communication between the two. I like how they tried to switch fields as well in this quick line out.
Referee not happy with the throw, then go down the center, and rules are rules. The World Rugby rules has changed. Even if it don't compete in the jump, it still needs to go down the center. That may be the trial laws that's going to happen here, as Outlight is going to put the one back into the scrum. Solid scrum just now by them.
And Kelson, you talked about the wind playing a factor. Really, it's about being able to manage that skill set of being able to toss the ball in down a straight line with the wind coming in.
Solid scrum again by Curacao. Medema gets it. What set piece is he going to go? He's going to go straight through the center, freeing his arms up back to Medema, who started it, and he's going to try to finish it on his own, and he does it excellently and with authority.
Andre Medema with the little bump and a shove and going straight away. He has so much upper body strength, makes that look easy.
That's right, Keith. That just shows how many work they put into it. Big muscular guy, probably lots of weight in the gym. Yes, and pushes around, converts his own try, and Curacao goes up as you look at the highlights.
He started from the base of the scrum there, nice service. And look how Medema sets this all off in motion, but a beautiful offload with a bit of a scramble tackle. There's the bump. That's a nice don't argue, gets all the way to the end, makes it look easy.
And the try score gets us back underway. Errant kick, it bounces 10 and it plays on. The referee was initially happy with the play, but she brings it back. Free kick on the half. The kickoff needs to travel 10 meters off the kick. And the referee in the middle is unhappy, so she's going to get it back there. Turks and Caicos, get the first opportunity to play some ball deep into this first half.
And love that they put the ball in hand to go for a run now. Have to get something started.
Stanley Haven just clueless as to what to do with the ball. He's eventually bundled to the floor. Curacao a bit aggressive, but they eventually get it down. And there's a Captain Simon. He gets us back underway into the hands. 1 step, 2 step. He's doing it all on his own, trying to find support. Eventually, it gets in the hands of his teammate as a big bump, but even a greater tackle by Curacao gets him to the feet. Great recycling play by Turks and Caicos, looking for the space out wide if they can use it. Ball tucked in one hand, you know what it's going to do, and he just loses his footing in the tackle. Holding on is the call, and over the top is that man who's everywhere like salt. It's Medema who gets the penalty for Curacao.
And tough luck for Teray Smith, too. He really had the overload to the outside. He could have used that overlap and just lost his footing.
Solid touch finder there by Medema. He seems to have loads of skills and artillery in his toolbox.
Yeah, you've got to love a versatile, big, strong runner, someone who has the cardiovascular ability to keep going with that sort of muscle tone and the ability to just win that battle in the upper body area. But, man, he has got a motor and he can really get around. And a substitution, potentially. That's a big part of this game, is making sure you can just manage between the heat and everything else needed.
Solid scrum by Curacao, and as the man of the hour, Medema, and probably commentators curse as his pass doesn't go to hand. He tries to clean up his own mess, but the referee isn't happy with something, and she's going to bring it back to the infringement spot. Free kick for Curacao, and they're going to try to take it quickly. Just losing that quick advantage as the referee wasn't happy with where the mark was going to be. So it's Curacao with the ball again, now into the big man. That's the big number 3, Brewster, and he bumps his way through, looking for space, rolls out, looking for the 2-on-1 on the outside, and he gets it back to the big number 6. And great looping play by Curacao. Knock-on advantage signaled by the referee, and Curacao almost gets in for a third.
Absolutely denied that by a shoestring tackle made by Turks and Caicos as well, too. Trying their best to close those gaps, but there's just too many weapons here for Curacao.
Looking at the time clock, probably the last play of the game, of the first half, sorry. As Stanley Haven for Curacao gets probably their second touch of the match so far.
They truly just haven't had many opportunities for attack. It's really been about Curaçao's defense, starving them from opportunity.
Switch play to Brewster. He bumps one. He leans over. The referee somehow gives back the ball, even though they were over for the score. Seems to be something major infringement, as Outlight gets the ball once more. He's going to look for the space out wide, but Curacao seems to only want to go one way, but they're met by an orange wall, which is the TCI tackler. Big scrimmage there with the ball in hand. Curacao still in possession, moving just inside the 5-meter line, knees on the floor, looking for the space if they can. And as this man Medema draws on the 2-on-1 and walk in, it's a walk in for Leroy Kirsten. He gets his try, and maybe the second of this match.
Medema and Kirsten absolutely set that up. It's really just plain and simple. Draw your defender, pin him back, and create some space for your teammate. A nice, beautifully well-worked last second at the death try.
Curacao in total control of this one, Katie. TCI unable to get out of their half the pitch so far. Lots of talk is going to happen at halftime by both coaches, and it's going to be a tale of two tapes in terms of the coaches and what they say to either team out there.
Yeah, certainly for Turks and Caicos, it's just about being able to hold on to the ball. They've lost much possession, and anytime that they do get some opportunity to go forward, the support just isn't quite there. They're just a bit overmatched at this point. Take a look. Just here's an effort to try to do whatever they can to drive them back, but they just do such a good job of getting the ground, winning that wrestling match, recycling the ball back. And you just see the leg drive there from Curacao doing their best. Always good ball placement. And that draws in all the defenders and their space to the outside. And Kirsten takes advantage with some help from Medema.
As we look at the team, the Medema, the playmaker so far is playing with his twin brother, Arturo. So there's twin brothers playing and out in this one here. And that family affair is something familiar to the rugby world, as lots of countries have multiple brothers and sister combinations playing in the various leagues with the male or female tiers. As the halftime score comes, it's 19 points to 0, Curacao versus Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, you have to have you know, a lot of support to play this game and to be able to do it together. And you think about just how they have a built-in training partner, right? So, and so many teams work together for these assemblies. They travel from far and wide. We'll take just another look here at the, as we mentioned, Kelson, the versatility, the ability to also capitalize on the conversions has been something that's helped Curacao just keep that scoreline ticking in their favor.
A halftime comes, team switch ends. Curacao in the blue kits, Turks and Caicos in that orange and white kit. And hydration, Katie, how important is that in this competition and in this weather conditions?
And it certainly plays a factor if you're on the losing end of this competition. There's something about momentum and how that sort of meets with the physical and the mental side of the game, right? If you're getting dominated, it seems like all you want is more water, something to get something going so that you can change this around. And that's something that TCI really has to take some steps forward. Hopefully with this first restart, they can get some momentum going in their direction.
And Medema gets us back onto a high kick, unable to take it in, and he's been pressured under defense, slips out of the tackle, and he's trying to play the danger game in the 22. He just threw the pass forward. The referee was right in position. Big sigh of relief for Curacao. They were almost gone, TCI, and a scrum time for the boys in blue.
And that's a little bit more. We saw some from Turks and Caicos, their ability to sort of like scramble into a situation that maybe wasn't the most ideal off the restart, almost created an opportunity, but it has to be just a little bit more directed and have a little bit more flow to their attack.
Scrum time. Very contentious. Free kick signaled by the referee. Quick tap and go to the big man, and he goes over, and it's easy days for him. He's still in gear one. And that's that man, Kirsten. He has a hat-trick already in this one.
And TCI, no one got the license plate of that Mack truck just streaming through. He saw that coming about 20 meters away. But really, a good heads-up play by the scrum half, certainly for Curacao. He saw the free kick was imminent and wasted no time getting in motion what we saw was going to happen. It's really about just anticipating where the gaps are going to be.
And we saw the change by Curacao coming into great effect there as Outlight was substituted in for the Van der Waal number 9, and he was quicker to that one after the scrum. Curacao push in front now, 26 points to 0, and the halftime break didn't stop the momentum of the Curacao boys.
Yeah, they're definitely in the driver's seat here. It's for TCI, it's about making sure that when they do get possession, that they can string together several phases of attack. And that's just something that they haven't been able to.
Nice high kick by Medema. Just too much strength on it. It's going to go back to the half, and it's going to be a free kick for Turks and Caicos on the halfway mark. And those kind of kicks when you're up is kind of coach killer, Katie. You want to keep the momentum and keep striking while the iron is hot.
Yeah, certainly TCI has just been gifted an opportunity if they can do it. And that's an absolute hammer of a hit running forward. That's a little bit better go forward by Turks and Caicos.
Some substitutions happening here for the boys in blue as Brewster, his job is done, and in comes Blankvoort, the number 4. High tackle sent by the referee. Turks and Caicos take it quickly, and excellent backdoor pass. We can see the skills of the youngster who just came on, the number 9 for Turks and Caicos, that's Samuel French. He's smashed in the contact by his opposite number. No advantage gain. He taps it quickly, and he's going. Can TCI get their first try in? Courageous run by the young man. He's been kept up in the air by Arturo Medema. Eventually, he's taking the ground. Turks and Caicos can lean over and score if they can. He reached just a little too far. Needed 1 more inch on the fingertips, and he knocked it on just on the try line.
And you gotta love that spark of energy coming from the bench. Just someone to get in there for the TCI to make a big difference. It's about sort of the youth movement and the opportunity, and he looked really well for Samuel French to just inject some energy for TCI.
Roshan Talbot was just short on that one. He was what we call the white line fever, we call it. He was trying to do it all on his own instead of trying to recycle that possession. Unfortunately, he was unable to get there. As we take a view of Barbados getting their warm-up on, they'll be on later on in this one. And the boys from right next door, the Flying Fish boys, they are going to come out there with Coach Joe Whipple. And as we see the boys in the white and red, that's kind of the tournament favorites. They're going to try to live up to that expectation, Katie.
Yes, there's never a break in competition throughout this day. It's certainly a fast action sport to watch. 7-on-7, full energy. So we'll get right into the spray after a very quick break to the close. But we're still in this one for TCI. You love to see just they're in no way giving up towards the end, even though it's well in hand for Curacao. But you see Turks and Caicos just going to the end. It is about points as well, too, Kelston, because you never know how it can get as we start getting into semifinals and the tournament rages on.
Quick go from the scrum, gets a time for the winger to stretch his legs, and you can see how it means for the Turks and Caicos boys to get in. Number 17 is getting him legs stretched out all the way to the try line. He's chased hard by French, unable to catch him. Don't even have a name for that number, but Curacao gets another, pushing the score up to 31-0 with the kick to come.
Yeah, strong strides just to finish, going around the corner, beating that defender.
First game of this competition. Easy kick in front of the post. Just going to add the extra 2 points. 28-0. Daunting task for TCI, I would say.
And here we'll take a look. Just excellent work by the scrum half into the space. And it's very hard to stop a train once it's going forward. That's on the tracks all the way to get to the end goal there. Looks over his shoulder, but there's really no concern.
More changes on for Turks and Caicos, trying to stop the hemorrhaging that's happening right now. Curacao with the kick. And Curacao tried to scoop this one back into the hands of the try scorer, Kirsten, and he's shifting the ball into space, looking for the room out wide. Right foot steps into 2 players, and great counter rocking by Turks and Caicos, just unable to hold it in.
As Charlie Penrose entered this game as well too, we can see with
this one, not the score they were like, but you just dusted off today, day 1, come back day 2, 2 games to get it right. As the referee seems to be delay the game is a signal as French gets us back underway for Turks and Caicos, looking for the room out wide. They're going to try to do it himself. He brushes off one tackle. He's streaking down the line, and as Therese Smith, he's going to get TCI's first score of the tournament under the post, streaking through the orange streak. Does it for TCI.
Certainly a great outcome there to Ray Smith. He saw that he had the space to the outside. Curacao just maybe a little bit flat-footed on that one, and credit to French for moving the ball quickly straight away as soon as the referee signal came up. There's a look, French, just with the outlet pass really quick. It's just pass, pass, and go. That's what it's all about. Looks over his shoulder. No defense is coming that way. They know they have the game well in hand, but certainly an important statement for TCI to say that there's so much more to come.
Excellent job to remove that donut off the scorecard. TCI will do well to have that score in as they get their first kick in for the second half. Deep kick, just rumbling a little too hard, you would say, as they watch to see if it rolls into the dead ball area. It does. Error of the kickoff, but that will be the last action of the day. TCI snatching 1 try at the end. Curacao leading this one 31-5 over TCI at the end of the final whistle. Up next, we have Dominican Republic versus St. Vincent in Tier 2 action. We'll be back right after this. Sorry.
Very exciting tournament. Several opportunities for men and women's international qualifications as well. Vincent is my name. I'm going to be joining you for the rest of this fantastic weekend. Welcome all teams. Welcome. This is round 7. And for those of you who are wondering how you can get in on the action, let me warmly acknowledge SportsMax, Rugby Pass, and of course, Rugby America North Network. It's going to be streaming live. The whole world is going to be seeing all that's going on here today. Or rather, for the end weekend. And let me warmly acknowledge our partners, the Sport Company Trinidad and Tobago and the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. So I hope you are ready for the Barbie excitement. This is Trinidad and Tobago. This is where soccer meets rugby.
Kelson Figaro alongside Maria Thomas, and we're going to have an interesting matchup for us. St. Vincent and the Grenadines versus Dominican Republic. St. Vincent in the green kits, Dominican Republic in the red. Interesting encounter. St. Vincent new to the rugby scene. They're going to come out and try to show their colors and represent their islands. Dominican Republic is first time the competition in a bit, and they're going to show what they were missing out on when they come forward. Dominican Republic, in, as I said, in the red and blue. Exciting action from this country. Maria, what can we expect coming into this one?
We can expect a lot of energy, a lot of passion. Both of these teams have been doing incredible work on the front of development. This is the stage that they get to show the rewards for all the hard work happening in their respective countries.
7 minutes both ways of action in the blazing sun here in Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to see look out for the captain from Dominican Republic. That's David Hightower. He plays with the Denver Barbarians. He's going to come to use his experience out here today.
Coach Juan Sebastian Giraldo for Dominican Republic, and a debut coach, Justin Tittle from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
St. Vincent in the green gets us off. Nice high kickoff. Dominican Republic is on. It shows and goes. Quick feet by this one. Excites the crowd. Dominican Republic showing their stature here. Big fend. But St. Vincent is up for the task. Eventually shift out wide, looking for the room out wide if they can. Great hands by the DR team, looking for the room and the mismatch, and he's trying to get off to the races. He bumps off one, tries to bump the second, but great recycling work by the boys in red, looking for the room out wide. Great patience, great structure by these boys in DR, but excellent work by the defense so far. It seems to be a yellow card immediately for the team in green. Seems to be an intentional knock-on, signals the referee, and that will be our first card of the game, and it's going to be 2 minutes off for this guy in St. Vincent.
Those cards have a huge impact in sevens. St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be playing one player short for the next 2 minutes of this match. This is a great advantage for the Dominican Republic.
Unable to get the number of the player that was carded from up here, but that's Del Pesh. He'll be on the bench for 2 minutes. DR with the man advantage in the scrum. He's gonna pick and go wide. It's a foot race. Can he get it? It's the number 9 streaking down. Great speed by St. Vincent to get back in, but easily recycled there by Cavalier III. He gets it out in the what? Looking for more room. Are they gonna challenge out wide? No, they don't. They go back through the middle. Steps one, he stepped everyone in the phone booth. He's still going. He decides he's out of space. They are still looking for the room. 2-on-1 if they can. Draw and pass, is it? He's dancing his way through. That's the number 9 for Dominican Republic. That's Alvarez, the vice captain. Eventually popped off to Justin Lopez, and DR gets their first try of this one.
The Dominican Republic will be happy to lead the scoreboard in this game. That's 5 points with the conversion still to come.
Okay, and while Kirby, the yellow card recipient, is on the bench for the sin bin. DR gets their first points on the board, and it's by number 11, Justin Lopez from the Tampa Crew rugby team.
Here we see the replay. That's Rodriguez, number 11, who is just taking up the ball.
As we get a restart, successful conversion, nice screaming high kick, tap back excellently, but unable to be gathered. Scrum time for St. Vincent, and they're gonna eat some precious time off the clock to allow the sin bin player to get back on. The scrum usually is a big assistant in making sure that they use up some of the time in this one.
So number 11 is Justin Lopez, and number 10 is John Rodriguez. Sorry for that mix-up there. The Dominican Republic, in addition to their amazing development on in the country, they also are pulling from great international experience with a number of their players who are on the pitch today.
Great backdoor pass by St. Vincent, then go to hand. The referee's playing an advantage. She seems to have the hand up. High tackle is a call on the 10-meter line for St. Vincent. They need to play it on the referee's mark. Just about 3.5 minutes to go in this first half. Dominican Republic leads 7-0. Remember, St. Vincent has that player Kirby in the sin bin. Picked out easily by the try scorer Lopez, and he's looking for the room out wide. Gets it into the hands of Hightower, the captain, and he's pumping his legs through. Back into the hands of Lopez. One to beat. He chopped it back to player number 10. He stretches over the line, and Rodriguez gets the second try for DR.
DR is picking up momentum. They've definitely come out to show their skill. They've had players playing in various tournaments in preparation for this, some of those being the recent Rugby Town Sevens champion, the Premier Second Division in France, the American Rugby Premiership, ARP, the Dubai Sevens, which is coming up, is another item on their list. So lots of rugby experience that we're seeing here on the pitch today in Trinidad and Tobago.
Rodriguez unable to convert his own try. As we take a look at the replay, Lopez streaks down the line, pops it back inside to Rodriguez, and he leans over in the corner for his first. Unable to convert his own try as DR gets us back underway in the red and blue strips. Nice dink in the air to get us back underway, but even greater catch was that by Sidroy Bentic. He takes it in the air easily. Great recycle. The ball is out. St. Vincent with the ball in hand, trying to work their magic. Big bumping tackle there. The ball. And that is great work, we would say, by the technical director, helping promote the rugby in St. Vincent. That's Willett Panther. He's doing a great job to help develop rugby on that island. As you see, is infringement here, knock on in the contact. The scrum time for St. Vincent.
The resurgence of men's rugby in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has had the team steadily rebuilding and growing, showing resilience and passion for rugby after the pandemic. They focused on development, as we've said, and increased participation. This is an opportunity for many of the youth who are in development programs to see their mentors and those they look up to in international competition.
St. Vincent back with a full complement of players. This time you see the player dancing through, weaving his way through the traffic. Advantage for the high contact is on. The ball comes bouncing into the hands of St. Vincent. No advantage gained. High penalty time for the boys in green. St. Vincent back to their full complement of players. Just under a minute left in this first half. DR leads 12-0 over St. Vincent, but they've been feisty so far, and they'll be knocking on the door soon if they continue persisting the way they're doing right now.
Union President Dylan Durant of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been a huge advocate for this development, both on the pitch and in other positions.
And just the door just opened for Dominican Republic to score just before the half is the vice captain Luis David Alvarez with the red cap. He just streaked through the middle. St. Vincent left the front door open and he went in. His try, third for Dominican Republic, and they push the score up now, 17 points to 0 with the kick to come.
That's Rodriguez, the number 10, with another successful conversion. Dominican Republic continues to show how all of that game time is pushing them up the leaderboard.
The scrum half there just picked it from the base of the scrum, looked up, saw the daylight, and he streaked over for his first of the game. 3 tries. Dominican Republic go into the first half as we look at a successful conversion. Going to the halftime break. Dominican Republic up over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As we look and see the Bajans warming up in the background, they'll be in action later today. And we see Coach Joe Whipple just barking the orders from the sideline. Look out for the big man in the white cap. That's Simeon John, plays his rugby in Canada. We'll be looking to see great from him, as well as the guy with the strapped elbow, that's Sean Ward. He is a stalwart in Bajan rugby. And the nippy scrum half, Michael Walcott. All the teams ready as we take a look at it. Seems to be Bermuda warming up on the side. Or both teams making substitutions coming in the second half. Dominican Republic 3 tries up to the St. Vincent 0, and the score is 19 points to 0 in favor of DR in the men's Tier 2 competition here at the Rugby Americas North Sevens 2024 here at Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima.
Barbados, Bermuda, Team Canada, the Cayman Islands, Guyana, Jamaica, Mexico, Curacao.
And the teams head back out for second half action. DR leading 19 points to 0. And Maria, as a coach for St. Vincent, what do you tell your boys in the halftime being down 3 tries?
Well, St. Vincent and the Grenadines are self-proclaimed underdogs. Their focus on development and getting the opportunity to compete on this stage is already a reward. I think the coach is going to be reminding the players of all the hard work that they've done to reach here, to keep their heads in the game, keep them held high, and give it everything they have on the pitch.
Couple of changes made by the boys in DR. Look out for number 2, Jesus Robles. He's going to be dancing footwork by the number 2. Check him in as he comes on to this one. Second half action is about to begin. Dominican Republic leads off with a scorcher of a kick high in the air. Excellently taken by St. Vincent, looking for the offload. He's met by the red blanket of the DR team. Great counter rock, the ball spills forward. Scott snapping is St. Vincent, and streaking in for the try is Dominican Republic number 6, Adames.
There you can see how quick thinking on the pitch just opens up doors and opportunities. Ebenezer Adames was able to take that ball quickly and was rewarded with 5 more points. The Dominican Republic will now be looking to add 2 more with this conversion kick.
The kick is unsuccessful. As you look at the replay, there's strong defense by DR team. Just caught St. Vincent napping, picked and goal around the outside. Strong runner is Adames, and he gets himself over, and he'll be delighted with that one. Dominican Republic take a stranglehold in the second half as we get it back going off the feet. Seems from up here, but the referee has a different view from there. She's a bit closer than we are. And Maria, how hard is it to come back from 24 points down?
It's definitely an uphill battle. Hopefully they're not watching the scoreboard too closely and just focusing on what they need to do. This game, regardless of the scoreline, is a great experience for both teams, and it is still early in the tournament. One of the great things we see in sevens is we actually get to see the teams improving and taking notes from every game they play.
And St. Vincent win the ball against the head, and Dominican Republic comes with big contacts there, trying to turn the ball back over. St. Vincent looking for the room if they can get it, trying to convert it, but it's stolen by the DR team. It seems to be pushing themselves back in, and it's a wrestling match to get the ball going. The boys in red seems to be a bit more aggressive, and the DR boys try to whip it out wide if they can. One bounce, and it's gathered by Cavalier, and he looks for the offload, pops it out, and it's De La Rosa going over for another for Dominican Republic.
The Dominican Republic is full of energy right now in this second half of the match. St. Vincent and the Grenadines definitely having to dig deep right now to defend their try line.
Looking at the action shots, De La Rosa is saying he is done like a steak. He needs to come off after that grueling run. DR pushes up now 29 points to 0. Just about 4 minutes left in this one. We see lots of hands on hips and hands on knees, showing how gruelingly fit you need to be as you take a look at the replay. Great counter ruck, shifting the ball out wide, and De La Rosa started the play, one bounce, and he looped around and took it back on the edge, just brushing aside the player from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The conversion kick was unsuccessful, so the score remains the same. Dominican Republic is going to get us back going, and it all started with a nice pinch and tackle from Fernandez, the number 7. It's Bueno with the kicking duties, and he launches one high into the air. St. Vincent tried to get out of their half of the pitch. Strong running and looping play. Can he get away? Strapped by one leg. The referee says play on. The ball is popped into the hands of De La Cruz, and the try scorer just passes the ball to floor. But back in the hands of the Dominican Republic. High tackle around the neck, and they have the advantage being played, showing and going. He has the overlap if he can use it. He chooses not to. The ball is taken down. Big looping play. No one is at home, and it's number 8, Julio Tonabele, is going to get himself over and get more points on the board for DR.
What an incredible set of plays there. As you can see, whenever there's an infringement, there's the opportunity for an advantage, and Dominican Republic definitely took advantage of that.
Commanding game for DR so far. The kick is no bueno by Bueno, and the score continues to go on. Dominican Republic is charging forward. Looking back at this one, looking for the room, recycled the ball well, looked up, no one was at home, and he was just able to walk over and big splash to celebrate that easy score. Misconversion by Bueno there keeps the score the same. Kickoff time by Bueno once more. 34 points to 0 in favor of DR. Looking for some room. Can St. Vincent get something out of this one? We saw Turks and Caicos in a match earlier getting a play, a try of the last play of the game, and can they reciprocate? Trying to get it off the floor, picked up well, stepped the player, he will left him in banana peels. Oh, unable to gather it is Cornelius John, and is hacked on by Bueno. He picks it up, rolls nicely, brushes off one with the offload, and the try scorer earlier, Tonabel, gets a second in quick succession. Dominican Republic now is trying to put on a cricket score.
Excellent potential in these plays that we're seeing. St. Vincent and the Grenadines really working through the team, but just those knock-ons and the forward movement of the ball that Dominican Republic is quick to capitalize on is giving Dominican Republic opportunity after opportunity for points on the board. This conversion kick, however, does not add any more points. It's a wayward kick. So we go back to the center line. Score 39 points Dominican Republic, 0 for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
As we look at the replay, a great hack by Bueno from the Los Bomberos club in Dominican Republic. Just iron it up, put it on a platter for his teammates to get it back going as the kickoff starts again. Great catch by St. Vincent, looking for the room. He switches the play. Can he get himself wide? Great defense by DR, and the ball continues. Advantage is being played. Quick going by the DR player, and no one is in front of him, and he's going to stroll over for another. That's Darren Fernandez in the pink scrum cap, gets his team further in front. DR in total control, a total shutout at the moment. Less than a minute left in this one. DR is in control. Successful quick. This one was Bueno by Bueno, so we can see this going forward. Just looking at the replays, St. Vincent and the Grenadines unable to keep the ball on, as we see over the top of it was Fernandez, quicker than everyone, and he strolled in, making it look easy for the boys in the red and blue. One more kickoff to go. Let's see what happens.
The Dominican Republic definitely making a huge statement here in the opening of this RAN 2024 Sevens tournament.
Ambitious kick by St. Vincent was unsuccessful, and the score is 46-0 Dominican Republic over St. Vincent in Tier 2 action here at the Rugby Americas North Sevens 2024 Larry Gomes Stadium. We'll be back for more rugby action. Just stay tuned. Final score, Dominican Republic 46, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 0.
All alternate means streamlined on SportsMax, Rugby Bars and Sauce, Rugby American North Channel. And I can see teams going through their warm-up routine. Welcome to all visitors. This is the Oracle Stadium, the heartbeat of Marina. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago. Looking up for our team. Dominican Republic. St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Arima, Trinidad and Tobago. There you see the heavily favored Canadians set to open their weekend against Guyana. This will be a great contest between these two sides. Canada got down here a couple days ago, had a good few days on the ground here in the Caribbean, ready to kick off their campaign to get back on the HSBC Sevens World Series. But first, you got to get to the Challenger Series. And before that, you have to win this tournament. Hi, folks. Brian Kelly here alongside Katie Wurst. Katie, talk to me about this matchup. You've got the heavily favored David and Goliath situation.
Yeah, certainly, Canada. You think about the preparation that goes into it, getting in country early, making sure you can acclimate to the weather, something that Canada's used to. It's why they're on the top, is making sure that they can make these elite training plans. Guyana, the upstart, trying to make a difference right away, seeing what they can do to just test their mettle.
That man, Thomas Isherwood, no stranger to the HSBC World 7 Series. That beautiful Canadian mullet in full flow gets us underway in this one. Taken brilliantly on this near side. Grabbing that one of theirs, David Richards. Nice to see him back. He's had some injury troubles over the last couple years. Hard step off the right foot there. Up into contact brilliantly there by Ethan Hager. He goes back inside. This Canadian team going to try and score early and often. Good wrap tackle there from Lionel Holder, the vice captain of this team. This could be a first score for the Canadians. And what's happened on that one? Referee going to go to the ARs.
Good positioning from the air there to certainly has a front row seat to talk about it, have a conversation to make sure that they can get the call correct. No try. Looked like it was a knock forward.
Great defense there from the green machine, as they're called. That's Guyana holding Canada early on here on their goal line. Beautiful stadium, beautiful day here in Arima, Trinidad and Tobago. Low 30s degrees. It is hot, folks, down pitch side. These athletes are playing 1 game today, 2 matches tomorrow, and then 3 on Sunday. So gives the athletes a time to get acclimatized, play just 1 game here today. Ball in the hands now of Rickford Cummings. Let's see what Guyana can do from their own 5-meter line. Isherwood just sets up behind the scrum. Referee not happy. Gonna reset and have a quick chat. Had a chance to talk with Canada's head coach, Sean White, before this clash. A couple of new faces in this Canadian roster. Trying to get back onto the HSBC Sevens Challenger Series. Continuing to develop as many athletes as possible. Guyana going to the boot. This one's gonna hang up into the 22. Looks like it's gonna bounce up awkwardly. Who's gonna get their hands on it? I believe that's Lionel Holder. And here comes the pace of Guyana. Beautiful pop ball over the top. Would love to see them touch down for the first points here. Tyrese Prescott, but that's been stolen. There's Deshaun Bowen, former Toronto Arrow. There's Richards on this near side now. Up into contact, fake ball back inside, and we will have our first try of this match. That's the captain for the weekend, Elias Hancock. Well, he brilliantly beat the defender on the outside there, Katie.
Yeah, certainly. It's all about the counterattack there. It's just a wonderful job from Ethan Hager. Quick as you like, right up off the ground to be able to create that steal straight away with that turnover ball. And Canada, they just realigned so nicely, had great depth, and really just it's the captain's job to get the points on the board, and Elias Hancock makes it look easy.
From Thunder Bay, Ontario. Nine siblings in that family. There's a stat for you.
And here's another look at it. Really, it's just see the depth coming in. He's got just long and lanky and a great long stride. That stutter step as well too. It's always just about being able to not only change direction but change speed. That change in speed is so tough for sevens.
Conversion attempt from Isherwood is successful. Excuse me, folks, I misquoted. Nine siblings is Kyle Tremblay from White Rock, actually. The man earning his first cap here for Canada this weekend.
And a penalty called there. Canada's just a little over eager. They're going to back up a bit. And this could be an opportunity for Guyana. Really good decision to go to the boot, create some clearance, and give them some space.
Bowen can't gather that ball, and it goes into touch. If you're just joining us, we have 2 different tiers this weekend for the first time at a Rugby America's North Sevens competition. There's 8 teams for the men competing in the Tier 1, and then we just saw 2 incredible matches earlier today in the Tier 2 competition. So Guyana attacking platform here inside Canada's half. Ball over the top now. There's Richards, finds Hager. He's got a man on this near side. Bowen gathers that ball with one hand brilliantly. Deshaun Bowen still going. There's Isherwood into the midfield now. Little stutter step there from Jack Shaw. He's got still on his feet. Jack Shaw, he's going. He's brought down by his bootstraps now. Here's the try scorer, Hancock. Into the middle. Hager spins it out. Here's Deshaun Bowen, and he will not be stopped. Oh my goodness, commentators curse. I don't believe it. The man who has scored so many tries in Major League Rugby and the men's sevens team in the last couple years. Wow, Katie, pretty incredible play there by Guyana.
Oh, Godfrey Polidor just absolutely picked his pocket. It's that punch through, the last desperation attempt. He tried to do as much as he possibly could to jockey across, but you have to give so much credit to Canada. They're just switching fields. Their realignment is so sharp, and Guyana has to do some desperation, tricky things to be able to create the knock forward.
Well, Deshaun Bowen, he will cross the line this weekend. He is a very talented, hard-running athlete, come through the Pacific Pride Academy and Major League Rugby. I'm sure he will bounce back from that one and won't be pleased with that performance. Interesting option in the midfield. Beautiful bit of skill there from Tyrese Prescott. We've seen him a couple times today, but that ball is spilled forward. So the green machine trying a little bit of tricks here. Why not, Katie?
Oh, Brian, Prescott gave his coach an absolute heart attack with that, and he almost pulled it off, right? Just the ball bounced just the wrong way, as it has a tendency to do. But it was really mostly out of desperation, some creativity, but it's just the relenting pressure, the attack that Canada's been putting on. It's forcing Guyana to do some really different things, which sometimes are paying off and sometimes not. There's some really good field position for Canada right now.
There's Isherwood thinking on that far side. Sneaking down this side, Cooper Coates finds his man, and we'll have another try for the Canadians. That's David Richard. Cooper Coates setting that one up brilliantly. The man who's flown from Romania into Trinidad and Tobago. He featured for the men's 15s team last weekend. Now he's setting up tries on the island of Trinidad and Tobago.
And Canada really just utilizing the pass and loop, right? If you're constantly in motion, you're going to be open. So creating some space by just going to the outside, the overlap has been key for Canada. It's just so difficult to defend. You think you got the last defender, and all of a sudden there's another red shirt right in front of you.
Conversion attempt is unsuccessful. As you just see here, ball spun out, pretty easy stuff. Cooper Coates just sets his man, and the looping ball around the outside for David Richard.
Also, that skip pass early on, right? Just miss one man, and you create some opportunity where defense has to stay true.
Taken brilliantly off the kickoff there by Elias Hancock. As we all know, restarts play a massive role in the game of sevens. Penalty against Guyana. Here's Isherwood, cuts off his left foot, goes back to that far side. Great tackle there, ball going to ground, but it's gathered up well. Here's Coates. That one goes to ground. Try scorer Richards has a Coates back inside, trying to get the hero pass out. Tackle coming in brilliant there from Rickford Cummings. Spun out now through the hands. Jack Shaw to Hancock. Got that big long frame, trying to get that ball out. Doesn't need any help. The captain goes himself. Second try of the afternoon for the big man wearing the scrum cap.
And just, you got to love their usage. He's such a long, rangy player. Elias Hancock gets to the outside, but they really just do go, you know, touchline to touchline, spreading out the defense to the point where they're always trying to just make that last desperation hit if they can. Guyana's just absolutely at a track meet trying to run them down as much as they can.
Well, he grew up playing American football in Ottawa before switching to the Bytown Blues a couple years ago.
And with the amount of ground that Canada really is covering, just switching fields, you can see it. Here's a look at Hancock just going through. He's got massive hands, so we can just palm that ball and then use the rest to be able to create that separation in space from any defender. And he just has such long limbs that it's so hard to get any sort of actual hold on him.
Well, and you just saw when he scored that try, he just put his head back and went, ah. That's the heat down here, folks. There's a high level of humidity. It is very warm. Like I said before, these athletes are playing one game today, 2 tomorrow, and then 3 on Sunday. So, Katie, as a former player and coach, how hard is it to, from a coaching perspective, to get these athletes prepared for conditions like this?
Right, it's really just about being able to make sure it's the full team within the team, right? So our management, do they have all the supplies we need? Are they able to access everything? And just keeping spirits up, right? So keeping the momentum in your head as much as it is physically on the field, just making sure that you're having fun. And honestly, if you're in the winner's circle, it's a lot easier to keep it going. It's also to note, like, thinking about the style of play, right? Canada really absolutely moving cross field all game, doing a lot of running. And then Guyana, it is so much more exhausting to defend against that consistently for 14 minutes to then have to get ready to do it for the next several days. So the more you stretch the field and utilize the ability to let the ball do most of the work, it's going to help out a lot.
Canada, one of the teams that arrived early, had a few days on the island to prepare here and make sure that they could get as acclimatized as possible. As I mentioned before, a couple of athletes coming in from Romania, lost last weekend in the test match in Bucharest.
And Brian, talk about some kind of jet lag there, right? Really, it's just it's an international game, but it's just cross-country, cross-flights, whatever they're doing to get here. It's all about sleep as much as it is about making sure that you're staying hydrated.
Absolutely. Teams coming in from all over the world, all over the region. Athletes arriving this morning from Barbados. Some athletes arriving at 3 a.m. last night. It's rugby in the Caribbean is incredible, but it's sometimes logistically a bit tricky. We're back underway. Deep kick here from Guyana. Getting under that one. Gets past one and another. On the pitch now, that's Noah Bain. Here's Matthew O'Wara, one of those guys who earned another test cap for Canada against Romania last weekend. Isherwood, here's Bain. Good pace on this near side. You see how quickly Canada can just spin the ball sideline to sideline. Alex Russell finds Coates. Here's Bain. Tries to find O'Wara. That ball is spilled, so a little miscommunication between the two lads fresh on the pitch.
I got to give some credit to Guyana there as well, too. Did a little bit more of that sort of bend, don't break defense, trying to create some good line continuity there, and just working hard, you know, being able to create an opportunity where they're not going forward all the time. So pressure on defense is really what's going to make a big difference.
Noah Bain from Abbotsford, BC, in the UBC Old Boys Ravens. Fijian mother, Gian Flair. 2 tournaments on the 7 series a couple years ago. Now he's back in this Canadian outfit. Good stutter step there from Lionel Holder. We've said his name a few times here today. There's Russell trying to clear that ball out. Penalty, not releasing in the tackle, goes to Guyana. Cummings finds his man on this near side. He's a big unit, gets past one, finds a player on the inside. Good wrap tackle coming in by the Canadians.
Guyana looking better. Good work to split the defender, and now finding some seams, getting through.
Matthew Talbot spinning this ball out. Through the hands, Tyrese Prescott. Little stutter step. Tries to get past Coates. Good hand fend. Brought down at the 22. Prescott. Bit of an awkward play. Tried to get past his man and go over the top. Here's Coates. The man from the Halifax, Nova Scotia. He's got 2 players with him on the far side. Ethan Hager finds Isherwood, and they will just trot in for another score. Well, when you're playing against the best team in the tournament, you can't make mistakes like that because you're just handing possession over.
And Thomas Isherwood, exceptional work for West Shore RFC from Victoria, Foothill Lions, as well as his home club. Just one of many players in support off of a very challenging tackle made earlier. Just kind of the type that rattle your bones, Brian. Really hard stuff that Canada's been doing. Guyana's just taking it. Here's a look at that acceleration right after that tough tackle. He's got plenty of options on the offload. There's 1, now 2. Isherwood's going to finish it off.
Well, he's been a staple on the Canadian men's team for the last couple of seasons. Vital experience on the World 7 series. That's what this Canadian outfit brings. Yes, there's a few new faces, but a lot of experienced guys that have played around the world, big competitions, Singapore, Hong Kong, London in previous years. Plenty of stops in Vancouver as well. Okay. Back underway through the boot of Coates.
Guyana made a quick sub as well too. Odida Douglas entering the match. Replaced Ronaldo Niles, taking a rest.
And first card of the afternoon. Guyana going to be playing with 6 men. That's referee Fernando Garcia from Mexico. He's refereed 7 test matches, Challenger Series, Pan Am Games. He's very experienced referee from this region here. Handing a card to Guyana, so they'll play a man down. Canada electing to just slow things down and set a scrum.
Guyana just their own worst injury, you know, sort of that insult to injury component. Now you're down 1, really. It's been quite a track meet trying to chase them down, and now there's 1 less body on the field.
Yellow card going against Matthew Talbot. of Guyana.
Oh, and Adonis coming on for Guyana. Entering the match for Canada is Kyle Tremblay.
First test for Kyle Tremblay. Man from White Rock, British Columbia, another Pacific pride. And UBC Okanagan Heat.
A lot of sort of late game substitutions here, making those changes. Again, managing the rest periods throughout this 3-day competition is very vital. It's an important role. Certainly the coaches having those discussions throughout the day and well into the night.
Mistake against the Canadians, free kick awarded to Guyana. Not a big issue when you're leading 24-0, but as we get into the knockout stages, the quarterfinals, semis, and finals, you're not going to want to make mistakes against the likes of Jamaica, Mexico, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago. Some of these higher-ranked nations are going to give Canada more of a run for their money. Bermuda as well. Up into contact now. That ball is spilled forward.
Tough break there for Odaida Douglas, just really trying to look up to see where the space might be to move to it, but you got to catch the ball first. It's about seeing it into your hands, especially into the last seconds of a match when you're ultimately just resources are depleted. It's about being able to see it and make sure that you can secure that catch, or else you end up with the scrum in a pretty precarious situation for Guyana. Matthew Talbot's going to enter the fray for Guyana. Nothing like jumping right into the scrum there, Brian.
Deep inside your own 22 as well. Trial by fire.
And you're just hoping it goes well at this point.
Here's Isherwood. Plenty of space on this near side. Wow, and that pass not going on to mark. Here's Coates. Finds Owaru. Bain. Little stutter step. He's got two players outside of him. He goes into contact. Wrapped up. Securing the ball. Jack Shaw. Tremblay goes himself. Wow, that's a second misconnection on this near side. I know Cooper Coates is a slippery player, but you got to be able to find him as that last pass, especially when playing against a team with only 6 players.
Just a slight miscommunication on the timing. You see Coates kind of get a bit frustrated. It was either a bit behind or just, you know, it's early days here, right, for this tournament, right? It's the first one, so working those timing issues out now.
Well, that line-out throw is off the mark. And dotting it down for the final try is Canada. Well, congratulations to that man right there, Kyle Tremblay, scoring in his first time wearing the red and white and the maple leaf of Canada. Congratulations to that man. Canada will secure a victory against the Green Machine from Guyana, opening their campaign. Here's Coates looking to add the extra 2, but that one is off the mark. Final score 29-0 for Canada against Guyana. Well, you got to think head coach Sean White will have seen a couple of those errors, but overall happy with the win.
Oh, certainly a good opportunity for Canada to work some things out early on. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Right here at Longboat Stadium in Marina. And for those of you visiting Trinidad and Tobago, welcome. Team Canada. And if you're visiting Trinidad and Tobago for the first time, welcome to Longboat Stadium. If you are one. The Battle of the Bees. Barbados takes on Bermuda. And remember, all action is being streamlined on three magnificent channels: SportsMax, Rugby Park, and Rugby America North. 12 countries, 3 days, 1 championship. Who's going to become male championship? Still to come. Still to come. Action in the women's division as well. The women's gear. Rugby 7 at its finest. This is where soccer meets rugby.
And welcome back, rugby fans. Round 7's here in Arima, Trinidad and Tobago. Some fantastic competition. I'm Katie Worst alongside Brian Kelly. We just saw a great competition between Canada and Guyana, and now we're getting started into this competition for our matchup, Barbados and Bermuda. Quite a hot one.
This will likely be a much closer contest between two very evenly distributed teams with top quality athletes on both sides. I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Both these teams will have circled this one in their calendar in preparation for this weekend.
And a high flying ball with bouncing back. Now Bermuda has it in hand in the pink strip. Looking to go far to the outside and wide. Recycling over, but met with a double tackle from Barbados in the blue and neon yellow. Coming cross pitch, looking for the outside, creating some gaps and notches, some fancy footwork, dodging defenders back and forth now. Scramble defense paying off. Plenty of space to the outside if they can move the ball, shifting it across. Simon John getting involved, has an overload, and the outside of the pass just goes missing. And some fast action straight away, Brian.
Well, as expected, we knew this one was going to be a tight contest between these two sides. Simon John, one of the talented stars, alongside Simeon John, as you see there, playing up in Canada for the West Shore Rugby Club. Very talented, very big, strong. One of the few players that can play 7s and 15s in front rower and do it equally as well in both.
Jaden Howell getting set for the scrum.
Some very experienced players on this Barbados side. Mikhail Walcott, Enrique Oxley, some very experienced athletes who have represented Barbados many times in these competitions. Barbados flew here this morning, 6 a.m. flight, about 40 minutes. Puddle jumper from Barbados here to Trinidad and Tobago.
Time to work the lead out of the legs here from that flight, getting straight into the action. Looking for the opportunity to get set with the scrum. Knock forward was the call. Bermuda wearing the pink. Already a full minute in, still 0-0 the score. Tyler Kendall will do the honors.
Also some very well-known names in these Rugby Americas North competitions. Tashawn De Silva, Tyler Kennedy, Jonathan Cassidy, Kabir Dill.
Kendall gets it deep, goes crossfield. Again, loss of footing. We've seen that before in earlier matchups. Here's an opportunity for Barbados to steal if they can. Referee says play on, ball's open, and they do. Barbados has it in hand now. Can they regroup and counterattack? A lot of physicality at the breakdown. Ball being moved. Dondre Phillips. Now, deep crossfield. They're gonna hammer run straight through. Picks up several meters, still on his feet, not held in the tackle. They're gonna move it crossfield one more time. Hard to see the numbers on these set of jerseys here. Tried to make the tap tackle, and it's Barbados that'll get on the board straight away after crossfield movement.
Well, that's Jeremy Nelson touching it down from Mill Hill RFC. He's a former track and field star. This is his second competition playing with Barbados, touching down for the opening points of this one. Also spent time playing for the Misfits. Many of these Caribbean nations having athletes based in the Caribbean, in the United States, in the UK, so it's a good opportunity for them to all get together. As you just see the blinding pace of that man right there, touching down. No shortage of pace between these two rosters.
Yeah, Nelson making short work of that one, but really it was hard-earned. And we'll get another shot of Dondre Phillips. He'll get set for the restart. And a high ball that's easy to lose in the blinding sun. And it bounces, a tough one for Bermuda to handle. Lots of pressure coming from Barbados, but they have it in hand now. Upfield, gaining lots of ground. He splits the difference of the defenders, one to beat. Can he get across field? Into the hands of Hadji Tucker. Looping pass, and the penalty was called. Tough one for Barbados.
Another very experienced man on the pitch there. That's Clifton Garrett, former Guyana under-19 representative. This is his 7th Rugby America's North Sevens competition. From Guyana.
Getting set for a big scrum here. Bermuda certainly wants to take advantage. Lots of argy-bargy right there, shoving back and forth, but they'll come away with it. Into the middle, the danger man, Desuro Gill. Often the playmaker. Had the outlook pass, and it just bounced forward. Tough handles for the slippery ball as it starts to heat up here, Brian.
Well, I remember Kabir Dill from the under-19 Rugby America's North 15s championship in Jamaica a couple years back. He was very fast and wiry then, and now he's graduated, moved up to the national team, representing his nation of Bermuda. Plays for Campbell College.
Looks like KJ Dill's going to enter this competition for Jahinko Francis, who will take a break. Strategic move here. With about 30 seconds left in this half, getting those fresh legs can often make that impact that's really needed.
As expected, this one is much closer than the last couple games that we've seen here today to open this contest.
Little switch move inside. Barbados has it. Hammering tackle there. Tyler Kendall.
But a penalty given to Barbados. In from the side is the call from referee Clifton Garrett. Unless there'd be halftime here.
Barbados taking their time on this one into the, don't want anything to go not according to plan in the last few seconds. Looks like they'll kick for some clearance. Just give themselves a little bit of breathing room.
Well, that's just showing that they want to win this game. They want to further their lead. They're up 5-0 so far on Bermuda. Could have very easily sent this one into touch to start halftime, but they're going to go for it.
Referee's going to reset that. Didn't really like the distance between the two teams there.
The man jumping in the line out there is very experienced. His name's Enrique Oxley. Played for the West Indies Sevens. Played at Loughborough University over in England. This is his 9th tournament playing for Barbados. Hammered downfield now. Where's this one gonna bounce? Walcott can't get to it, so we're gonna have halftime.
And as we get set for the halftime, just gonna take a bit of a break, and it's a close one, razor thin margin. It's 5-0 straight away for Barbados. Just has the edge. And we'll take a little bit of a break while they get set and refuel.
the schedule for the day. Canada and Guyana just wrapped up. You're at Barbados against Bermuda. Coming up after this, you'll have Jamaica versus Cayman Islands. That'll be another fantastic contest before switching over to the women's competition. Trinidad and Tobago, the hosts, taking on Barbados. Jamaica go against Dominican Republic. The final men's game of the day, Mexico against the host Trinidad and Tobago, before closing out the evening at 3:56 p.m. local time. Mexico against Trinidad and Tobago B, a second side, giving it its 6 teams to compete in this weekend. So lots of great rugby here today. It was originally supposed to be a 2-day tournament, but they opened it up over 3 days. I think that's a great idea. It gives the athletes a bit more time to spread out the matches, get acclimatized to the heat, and also the floodlights here are not what they need to be for games later on in the day after about 4 or 5 o'clock. So beautiful shot there here of Larry Gomes Stadium on this fantastic island nation of Trinidad and Tobago. This is Arima and the Rugby Americas North Sevens competition. Beautiful shot. Larry Gomes is Larry Gomes is a former cricketer for Trinidad and Tobago, known as Mr. Dependable.
And that's certainly what we've seen from the individuals working on this competition today. It's been all about just, you can see everybody scurry around, handling every little task that's needed for this massive tournament. So many different teams and nations. The total of 52 international matches will be played with 728 minutes of rugby. That's just a whole bunch of different things that are needed and necessary. The number of bottles of water to the amount of field lining that it takes, and this is just one of the things that is so exciting as we start to see these really closely contested matches, and it makes it all worth it.
I think this is my 9th Rugby Americas North Sevens event that I've been a part of since I joined the club back in 2018, 2019, and you could just tell it's fantastic. It's always a great weekend full of some electric rugby sevens. And of course, commentators curse as I say that ball sails into touch here off the foot of the Barbados player.
Yeah, just got a little over eager on that one. Get the sense that he wanted to get it a bit deeper, but there also has been a bit of a wind that's picked up, which many players will welcome that to just some sort of cooling effect as we go, but maybe not necessarily the kickers. As we'll go for Bermuda, will elect to run this one out. And nice start to just a little switch pass there, changing it up, followed by another to change directions. Bermuda trying to do what they can to create some trickery, and a bouncing ball now gathered up. Quick footwork there by KJ Dill, making it tough to be tackled. Now Dezurl Gill in hand. Lots of pressure coming from Barbados. Bermuda still has it now. Ben Green, the ball carrier. Ball's lost now, back to Barbados. And we'll bring it back for the knock forward. For the eminent scrum will ensue.
Ben Green plays for Shrewsbury College, King's College in London, but also Bermuda Police. Spent some time at the Hong Kong Football Club as well. First tournament representing Bermuda.
A lot of pressure coming in now. Has the sideline. Desperation attempt to make it stop, but there's nothing that can keep this one back. And Barbados is going to get on the board again through Jaden Howell. The speedster goes to the outside and just outruns that defender. That brings it to 10 points for Barbados, increasing the slight lead. That's a tough blow to Bermuda. We'll take another look at it.
Just electric pace on the outside. There's no substitution for it. I know that's an age-old saying, but it's absolutely true. And that man there just going the distance, pure pace, touching it down. Well done, Jaden Howells.
And that conversion was good. So some extra points, which are definitely necessary. Sevens can turn around in a split second. Another loss of footing, but that pass turned into a skip. Now Bermuda on the front foot, splits 2 defenders. Solid run. Penalty called. Hands in the ruck there now.
Still plenty of time left on the clock. Just under 4 minutes to play. 12 points is not a safe lead in the game of sevens. Anything can happen.
Tyler Kendall kicks it out, elects to go for the line out to create a solid platform. Or just really to take a breath, maybe reset. They're in good field position here if they can win this set piece. Bermuda would love to get on the board this time around. Connects on the throw. Kendall gets it wide to the middle. Now Gill looks to the outside, has Francis all the way out, but running out of space. Barbados works quick. Pulled in 3 defenders now. If they can recycle, get it cross field, there has to be some space. Digging the ball, Kendall has the right idea. Cross field now into the hands of Gill. Gill gets it all the way wide. Are they into touch? Just flirts with the line there. Crossfield once more now. Looks like they've stretched the defense enough to break through. And Bermuda has the points they were looking for in a great flourish. Tyler Kendall was the try scorer, and he'll make good on the conversion as well.
Well, he spent some time at McMaster University in Canada. His dad's a former rugby player as well, and his dad actually founded the rugby club, Teachers RFC, long-standing Bermudian rugby family. 24-year-old touching down, playing in his 3rd Rugby America's North Sevens competition.
And that was just such a great look at how Bermuda finally broke down that staunch defense. And here is a high ball just right on the 10. Bermuda picks it back up, well played in the air, winning that game.
As we said, that 12-point lead is not safe for Barbados. Here's Walcott making a big, strong tackle.
Not much space to the outside. Looks like he's going to make his own if he can. Slips underneath, but big pressure coming from Barbados defenders. They get the ball out. Kendall looks for the space, needs some support. Doiling. Rory O'Kelly-Lynch. Crossfield again, he'll tuck it and he'll go right underneath. That pass was obviously forward.
Well, they needed it to go to hand. Unfortunately, hands on knees, the exhaustion, they know that was it. Time very preciously ticking away, 45 seconds. We will have time for one last scrum here. Bermuda realizing this one is just out of reach. They're gonna need to win this scrum if they want to get back into this game. Barbados in no rush to set this scrum. Obviously, 30 seconds to play on this one, Katie.
Absolutely, you can't score if you don't have possession, so Barbados is saying let's hang on to the ball as much as we can. Bermuda really trying to make that wrap around in the tackle pass happen, just didn't get across the body enough. And now Barbados, really, let's see how much time we can tick off the clock here.
Well, they're gonna run it. Great burst of speed up the middle. Here's Walcott. Beautiful offload out the back.
Looking for support the whole way, but he gets him off his foot, so exceptional work. Barbados finishes strong to the end. It was Jaden Howell really just putting the nail in the coffin.
11th tournament for Barbados. That's Mikhail Walcott with a brilliant Sonny Bill Williams offload. And Barbados putting the icing on the cake of this first victory of their campaign. Well, Katie, they were pinned deep inside their own half. You thought maybe they were just going to slow things down and kick the ball out, but deciding to go end to end, that's what we love to see here on day one. As we catch the replay here, Walcott with the Sonny Bill Williams. For those new to the game, that's the offload where you're basically being held and just go out the back, and that's too much pace there from Jaden Howell. That's his second try of this opening victory. Barbados winning this one
And quite a competition there to finish it up. It was great, excellent work. In that final, you can see the score there. Barbados just edges out Bermuda 19 points to 7 off of some heroics from Howell and walkout at the end.
Well, switching over to the women's competition now, we've got the hosts, Trinidad and Tobago, getting set to take on Barbados here at Larry Gomes Stadium. Stay tuned.
The undisputed heavyweight team of this tournament. You better stick around the final group, but definitely you can follow all the action live on SportsMax, Rugby Park, Rugby American Law, 3 Rugby-based channels right now. And let me also warmly acknowledge our partners of today's event, Sport TT, the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. And also I'd like to warmly acknowledge the head of sport development, Mr. Joshua Wallace George. In the meantime,
let's take a look at some highlights here. Barbados scoring early and often. Too much pace on the outside. Gill could not make that tackle. Conversion attempt unsuccessful in this one. The Bajans, watch this play here. This would have been the highlight of the game for sure, in my opinion. Too much pace around the outside. That was one of his 2 tries in this contest. Electric stuff there from Barbados. But Bermuda, they would not be denied, as they would get things on the board here in the second half, scoring some points of their own. Let's catch the replay of this one. Big tackle on this near side, just tiptoeing inside the sideline. Bermuda getting their campaign on with a try. On to the next match of the day. This is the third and final of the opening block of the men's Tier 1 competition. Jamaica taking on Cayman Islands. Sorry, folks, I was a little too excited to see the women's competition coming up after this game. Will be Trinidad and Tobago against Barbados women's. But now we've got Jamaica against Cayman Islands. And Katie, this is a game that's going to be very closely contested between 2 rivals. Well, this is going to be a great game.
Certainly to get started, you've got Cayman is going to try that short kick, a little too short, and it's going to bounce back. They'll put it down on the ground, and Jamaica, quick as you like, gets set for the free kick option. Paul Weshin will get it started. Blasting through a couple of defenders. He's brought down, support just a little bit delayed. And now, ball in hand, Avery Ebanks barrel rolls his way forward. Ball's picked up to the base through the hands of Justin May. Back to Paul Weshin. Weshin, tough customer to bring down. Bit of a wrestle for the ball. Penalty called, wasting no time. Jamaica to the outside. Can they beat the last defender to break through? Jamaica on their feet trying now. Looks like Cayman has the steal.
Booted back there. Good showing of skill on this near side.
Referees will make a call. Several phases of play uninterrupted. It's hard work getting this one started, as you mentioned. Too close to call so far, Jamaica and Cayman. They'll get set for a scrum. And welcome the chance to take a breath.
Some well-known names in the Cayman roster. Thomas Kehoe, one of the many Weston brothers as well out on the field. David Stringer, Darian Montague, Ruin Miller, Frederick Robson. Rugby is alive and well in the Cayman Islands. Men's, women's, 7s and 15s. They're an exemplary union, everything that they do for their athletes. Rugby continues to grow. Now Jamaica have to bring their man down.
Paul Weston finally brought down. Ball in hand, tried to hack it forward. Just knocked on, so we'll get set for the scrum. evenly matched here at the set piece so far. A great platform to attack from if you can use it. Jamaica will put it in. Quick as you like. Ball bounces back. Taking their time, but lost footing. Excellent work by Cayman to jump on top of it. Harry Clark hacking it forward and gets across the line. Harry Clark for Cayman. A little bit of a lackadaisical approach there for Jamaica. Pays off for the Cayman Islands.
Well, you never let a rugby ball bounce or it will bite you, and that's what's exactly happened there against Jamaica. Johnny on the spot there. Cayman with an early lead.
And you got to get the sense that Jamaica's frustrated with that one, just didn't, you know, and that's what it's about, right? The ball is shaped interestingly to make it difficult, to make it exciting, is that kick. And here it is, they're just trying to go for it and then lost a bit of footing. And that's solid work by Harry Clark. Just went for it, right? High risk, high reward. Just give it a kick forward, gathers it up, and the conversion's good. So 7 points on the board for the Cayman Islands. High kick now, well taken by Jamaica. They'll skip it back. Stone Priestley Nangle was ball carrier at one point, now wide, gets it to Cahill Green. Change in possession, back to the Caymans through Eddie Weston.
The Weston, counted eight siblings have all represented the Cayman Islands. Tied the record last year when they played against Bermuda with all of them seeing the pitch. That is unbelievable stuff. Mom and Dad must be thrilled.
Tried to kick through and it ricocheted off the boot of Jamaica into the waiting hands of Tommy Kehoe. And penalty to Jamaica not releasing. Cayman's gonna take a second, collect themselves. Eddie Weston thinks about going quick, decides to reset it. Paul Weston, quick tap to Harry Clark, the try scorer, to the outside, little show and go. Nick Franklin tries to get the tackle, but somehow gets through. Mike Luxton, the co-captain, does the job for Cayman Islands, starting to pour it on now.
Well, Jamaica won't be pleased with the opening 6 minutes of this contest against the Cayman Islands. Sloppy with ball in hand, and these are very makeable tackles that need to be made in these competitions. Don't forget, this is a round-robin format. 2 pools of 4 teams. You want to set yourself up for success in that quarterfinal competition, and Jamaica allowing 12 fairly easy points against as Weston looks to add the extra 2, and he's done it. The man who welcomed his first child last year, playing in his 16th 7th tournament for the Cayman Islands.
And there's another look. Really, it's you never give up on that tackle or else they'll take advantage of it. Mike Luxton just does the work, never say die, and finishes it. Nice leg drive to get the points. And a high kick, pressure right under as he jumps in air to maintain it. Nice little outlet pass. Plenty of room to work. Got 1 to beat now. Good off-balance step, but a wonderful chase down tackle. And Jamaica comes roaring back.
Well, that's what you need from your speedsters. Jamaica getting back into this one, less than 30 seconds on the clock.
A lot more energy in that, and try score there. Nick Franklin really worked hard for it. That was more like it for the support that they're looking for. Jamaica known for quite a bit of flair as well too. Made that one look easy as they get on the board. 5 points now. Certainly the way that you want to go into halftime, with a great bit of steam. Excellent job to sort of close that gap between the Cayman Islands. Nick Franklin. Restart. Goes a little bit deeper this time. Well taken by Cayman. Caught in air by Paul Weston.
Well, a great opening 7 minutes between these two evenly matched sides. Canadian match official blowing the whistle down here for halftime. I had a chance to talk with Lucas Roy Smith, the head coach of this Jamaican men's side. Said they arrived late on Monday evening. Most of their players, I think 9 out of 12, are based in the UK, with 1 in the USA and 2 based on the island of Jamaica. So they arrived late Monday night, had an opportunity to acclimatize and get together as a team. Many of these athletes for Jamaica playing for the likes of Edinburgh University, Dings Crusaders, Stockport RFC, Cardiff Met University, Southwell RFC, Sale RFC. So they don't get a huge amount of time with each other. So the idea was to get in and acclimatize to the conditions here. They had a really good training session. Lucas was saying that they had a run out right square in the middle of the day on Tuesday afternoon to acclimatize to the sunshine. And Katie, it takes a second to get used to. It is hot, it is humid, and that definitely plays a role in these conditions.
Oh, certainly. This Ran Sevens competition is all about who can gel the quickest, right? Who gets on the ground and who can just recreate the timing that you would have. Ideally, it would be months of preparation and time, but really the international flavor for this tournament is about coming from all different corners, being here, and then seeing how quickly these coaching staffs can get them on the same, sort of singing the same sheet of music, right? So, and it's an exceptional bit of work that they do from Jamaica and Cayman, this really close score. And what a beautiful day, wonderful, gorgeous sky we have. It is bright and it is sunny, Brian. It's something that's on the minds of the players, being able to have a great day, but as the day wears on, you really wish that sun would stop for a second.
Well, as we were saying earlier, they're playing 1 game today, 2 matches tomorrow, and then 3 games on Sunday. So it's a war of attrition right now, making sure you're staying cool, making sure you're staying hydrated. Great shot there of Larry Gomes Stadium, former international cricketer, Mr. Dependable for Trinidad and Tobago. We are in Arima, Trinidad and Tobago. Beautiful country so far. I arrived late last night, and so did you, Katie. We both were coming in on some late flights, but very welcoming, very wonderful people we've met so far. I've had the pleasure of working alongside Trinidad and Tobago Rugby Union and athletes for about 6 years now, and I can tell you that the love of rugby on this island, both islands, Trinidad and Tobago, are massive. 100+ year history of rugby here and throughout the entire Caribbean. And it's always fantastic when the teams can come get together. This is the first competition that these athletes have played since the Olympic Sevens qualifying tournament in Langford, British Columbia last year in 2023. So not often that these athletes once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times get a chance to get together and compete in these events. Referee for this one is Stephen Kinisevich from Canada. First Ran Sevens event has featured on the HSBC 7 Series. Former club and high school player, and switched over to referee full time. He's actually heading to Dubai after this for the first stop on the HSBC 7 Series. Saw that Canada's women's team announced their roster. First one at the helm for Jocelyn Barreau of Canada. But we're not in Dubai. We're in Trinidad and Tobago, back underway in the second half.
We'll get set for a scrum. Cayman Islands, well taken, has it no problem. Condensing the space, pulling in defenders. Looks like he's stripped it now. Jamaica has it, and over the shoulder, flips that pass back. Can Jamaica realign and get enough depth? Not necessarily needed if you've got quick feet. Ruan Scott Young gets the offload through. Jamaica men have the try.
Well, that's what you need from the Jamaicans. Lucas Roy Smith, head coach, would be pleased with this one. Starting things off with a 5-pointer, cutting the deficit now to 14-10. This Jamaican outfit, very talented, lots of speed, and definitely some size in this roster as well.
That was Amari Caro, was the try scorer.
2012 Super League's fastest man. We saw a little bit of his pace there. That was 12 years ago, of course. He is a school teacher now in Kent.
And the conversion, very deep and wide. Just slightly. Good attempt there. Strong boot. And Jamaica likes the way this started. That's a solid hit there from the Caymans, but that offload pass was exactly what he needed. And Twinkle Toes gets across from that defender, just gets out of the way. Amari Caro. With some substitutions coming on for Cayman. Freddie Robson Not quite yet, actually. Robson just moving into position. Jamaica looking to strategize a bit with this restart. Drops it almost on the line. Cayman taps it. Looks like it went to touch. Jamaica, cross field. Bobbled ball, but brings it in. Pass just goes behind, but gathered. Sam Reese. And looks like a bit of a high tackle. Heat-seeking missile there, just got a bit too high. As Jamaica felt the brunt of that one. Have to watch the tackle height, Brian.
Absolutely. Referee's going to go and have a consultation with his ARs. We have no television match official this weekend, so everything will be happening from the 3 down on the field. Could see a card here. So a yellow card is the call. We're going to get a replay of this. Just a high tackle, direct contact to the head. I think he let up. That could be a mitigating factor. I don't think he hit him probably as hard as he could have, knowing that it was high and a definite size disadvantage.
Yeah, it's definitely a difference in height, but you can see it's clearly over the shoulder there, Avery Ebanks, and it looks like it'll be a yellow card. And there's a shot of Ebanks taking a bit of a break, a tough blow for Cayman, now down a player.
5th tournament representing the Cayman Islands.
Jamaica taps the ball, loops around in quick movement. Sam Reese had it, and now they'll kick ahead, some space, off to the races, and it's gathered into the corner goes Jamaica.
Well, that's sensational. When you kick in the game of sevens, coaches either love it or hate it. It either works out in your favor or it doesn't. But that one right there, that's a highlight reel. We'll cut that one. That is unbelievable set of skills from that man right there, gathering that ball, one hand, tiptoeing down that far sideline. Well, Cayman were up 14-0. Now they're trailing by 1 point, so it's been a complete swing the other way in Jamaica's favor.
Yeah, Brian, you really get the sense that halftime had some conversation around like really getting your head in the game, and you just see a different energy for Jamaica this half. And have some great stuff by Luke McNally-Drew, just really threading that line, somehow keeping the ball in. And there was the kick forward. That was Ronaldini Frazier. And here's the scoop to the end. It was actually Cahill Green chasing that one down, making short work of that. But that is just a beautiful kick pass to finish. And the couple of changes.
From the Cavaliers Rugby Club, playing in his 5th tournament for Jamaica. That's Khalil Green. Highlight reel stuff as Jamaica take a 1-point lead here in a decisive game here in Pool B.
Jamaica up 15-14. The narrowest of margins. Can they keep this energy going? High kick, Cayman. And a penalty awarded to Jamaica.
Lucky not to go to the bin there, kicking that ball and slowing things down a little bit. Don't forget, Cayman playing with a man in the bin. That's why Jamaica are going to go for a scrum here, eating some time off the clock with that 1-point advantage. Plus, you're going to drag in that one extra defender into the scrum, so opening up a little bit of extra space there for this back line. So that's a smart move by this coaching staff and the leadership group of this Jamaican team.
Yeah, really everything's coming up roses for Jamaica at this point. Having possession, the clock's in their favor now, but they've got to hold on. It only takes a split second and sevens for things to turn around. Ronaldini Frazier comes around the corner. Are these the insurance points they're looking for? They are. Jamaica taking it all the way to the bank.
Well, he's an experienced campaigner for the Jamaican men's national team. That's Ronaldini Frazier. He knew the space was there, and that's hard to defend as a scrum half for Cayman Islands, especially with a wiry 9 like that. Frazier, 6-point advantage. These points here are massive. Still time left to play. We will have a restart, so it is still possible for the Cayman Islands unless this conversion goes through. And he's done it. That will likely secure it as we get another shot here of the Frazier try, just sniping down that blind side. Too much pace. As we see the conversion attempt, this makes it an 8-point game with under 60 seconds to play, likely giving the Jamaicans the victory.
Now, Brian, that was some bold and beautiful stuff. Great play by Frazier to make some things happen for Jamaica, the energy they were looking for. And here's a high kick right on the corner. Looks like it will go to touch Cayman in the last second. Quick line out in desperation, trying to scramble to create anything they can on attack. They've got ball in hand. Clock still ticking, looks like.
Avery Ebanks, the yellow card holder, back on the pitch now, 7v7. Ebanks is a large unit.
Seconds remain in this contest. They'll do one more set piece, at least. Both teams equalize 7-on-7 now on the pitch. Cayman certainly in the last seconds trying to come up with anything that'll go their way. Frazier gets it wide through Franklin. Franklin gets it outside to Green. Cayman recovers in the tackle. Ball's picked up. Avery Ebanks goes to ground. They have some room to work now. Can the Cayman Islands, little show and go, goes nowhere, right into a wall of black jerseys. Cayman Islands trying to break through the middle, not finding any seams. Harry Clark.
And you got to think about this Jamaican outfit. The time was in the red. They could have just kicked the ball out. They had a scrum. They won it, and they decided to spin it through the hands. Now you're setting yourself up for extra tackles, extra exhaustion, and now giving the ball back into the Cayman hands. You're playing an extra minute of rugby. And I know you've already won the game as a Jamaican supporter and as a player, so you're happy about getting the victory regardless. But don't forget, we're playing for a competition on Sunday, so this is just extra time that you're eating into your lungs, into the lactic acid in your legs. 1 game today, 2 tomorrow, and 3 on Sunday. So an unnecessary, maybe inexperience, maybe they didn't know it was on the in the red. We do have 2 screens here around the stadium so athletes can see the time and the score.
David Stringer elects for the line out. Ball in hand. Ebanks scrambling. Ball's lost in the contact.
But a penalty against Jamaica. Offside is the call. Cayman on the front foot.
Stringer wasting no time, getting right to it, draws another penalty. And the yellow card to Jamaica.
Not back 10. That's a clear and obvious call there from the Canadian match official. Slowing things down, likely stopped a try. So could have potentially been a penalty try on that one. But like I said before, now you're 2 minutes and 15 seconds of extra time unnecessarily. You're putting your team into that all sorts of pressure.
Clark to Ebanks and finds the space is Paul Weston. Makes short work of that one to finish it off. But Ebanks smashing forward, drew the defenders, created the space needed. And Cayman, you couldn't ask for a closer contest here, Brian.
Points will come down to the rankings of who will play who in the quarterfinal on Sunday in that crossover between Pool A and Pool B. Conversion attempt is successful. So, well, Katie, we called it before this game. We knew this one was going to be close. And it was just a 1-point thriller.
A tough one for Cayman because they feel like they really just ended on the strong foot, but not in the win category. So Jamaica gets away with one here at the last second.
Well, that wraps up the men's opening matches here in Tier 2 and Tier 1. As I said earlier, we're going to head it over to the women's competition now. Trinidad and Tobago taking on Barbados. This is Rugby America's North Sevens competition from Larry Gomes Stadium.
This is Barbados. I'm Kelson Figaro alongside Maria Thomas, and we'll be with you for this first encounter of the women in this tournament here, and Trinidad and Tobago have lots of support from their home crowd.
This is going to be an exciting face-off, Kelson. Of course, the home team, Trinidad and Tobago women, with our neighbors, Barbados. Always an exciting match to watch. The Barbados team, they are rebuilding but not starting from scratch, as they have a number of seasoned players who are leading their new athletes into the future of rugby for Barbados.
In the middle to get us off is Nicolette Panto, and she's part of the Panto clan. Brothers and parents play the game, and Nicolette Panto is one of the people instrumental in this organization of this tournament today. And Nicolette Panto is going to get us on the way from the police rugby section. Deep kick picked up by Barbados, and the direct route as TNT missed the tackle, looking for the show and go. Barbados eventually is taken to the floor, looking to shoot it out wide. Just a bit of scrappy play by the women at the start of this one. TNT back in this mix here, trying to steal the ball, and it's done excellently by Leah Quintiba. Not taken through the mark, says referee Danny Rosales from Mexico. And into the hands of Panto, looking for the room. He's running across the field, gets it into the hands of Afia Glasgow. She had rooms to burn, but popped it on the inside, and clear run by Trinidad and Tobago. And they're going to get the first try by the screamer, Katara Monroe, and she streaks in for TNT's first.
Valiant effort in defense from Barbados, but not enough to stop Katara Monroe with the first 5 points on the board for Trinidad and Tobago. And we can hear the home crowd bursting into cheers, supporting our home team.
Monroe, the screamer, but tried to start TNT's campaign off as we take a shot at the crowd there. Wayward kick, conversion not successful. The score remains 5 points to nil. As we look at the TNT supporters, excited to see their women in action as we take a look at the replay now. Great tracking by Monroe, and just skip the tackle and strutted in as you like. Just a bit of dangerous flirting, taking a time. The conversion unsuccessful. The score remains 5 points to nil in favor of TNT. As we get back underway, TNT eventually scrapped the girls in blue and gold to their feet, looking to shoot the ball out wide. Erroneously popped in the air. Advantage is being played, and Zaquilla O'Brien gets the ball out to Quintiba, and there's no one in front of her, and Quintiba is streaking in. The Defence Force rugby player is getting her first and TNT's second try of this match.
That brings the score to 10 points to Trinidad and Tobago, 0 for Barbados.
Great advantage being played by Trinidad and Tobago. Just more aware than their opponents. Conversion successful by Panto. Score 12 points to nil in favor of TNT. As you just take a look at Quintiba streaking in, no one in front of her. Welcome Matt all the way to the try line. No one there to stop her, and TNT looking the stronger of the pair in the first part of this one.
Leah is such a powerful runner. Definitely someone who you don't want to get in front of. She will be someone to look out for, especially for defense.
TNT gets us back underway. Big contact by Barbados, looking for the ball out wide if they can. It's a quick recycle, and Barbados, they love the contact, but TNT is over the ball. That's Vincent trying to get it. It's Jessie Durrell for Barbados, gets us back underway, and she gets it back on the loop, trying to squeeze the ball through. Knock on signals by the Mexican referee, and TNT will get the put in to the scrum.
Over 55 women and girls came out to rugby this year in Barbados. It's wonderful to see the growth of their program. This is their first RAN 7s since 2019, and their first time traveling since 2015 in the RAN circuit.
Big push by Barbados. Illegally though, says the referee. She's just going to have a reset. It wasn't straight enough, and the referee is just managing safety is priority, so she's going to make sure that everything is okay.
The Trinidad and Tobago women's program taking advantage of the success that they've had in 15s. They are fielding 2 teams in this division for today.
Into the hands of the try scorer, Quintiba. She's going to get it into the hands of Monroe. Just slippery hands, the ball going forward, and sometimes you just need to keep your eyes on the ball to make sure you don't make those silly mistakes.
We've had the advantage of being able to see the home team Trinidad and Tobago in training. Kelson, do you have any thoughts on their training leading up to this tournament?
Well, TNT have loads of women in their camp, able to put in 2 teams into this competition, so it just shows the depth and the work being done by the women. As we see the ball just knocking forward by Barbados, TNT gifting the ball first, Barbados making a second error. TNT has the put in, and this sometimes it just requires a strong mental to keep focused, as TNT has a slender lead over Barbados. Anyone in it, 2 minutes left in this first half. Can TNT add a third before the halftime whistle? As we see Panther with the ball in the hand, tracking across the field into the hands of Monroe. There's no one in front of Monroe, and she's going to streak in as Jessie Durrell tries to catch up her for Barbados, and a great tackle in the end. Did she get it down? No try signaled by the referee, and great work by Jessie Durrell as we take a look at the replay soon to come.
Amazing defense. That shows you exactly why you must never, ever give up.
Jessie Durrell, great work from her. Young athlete, working hard. She's actually pursuing her master's in natural science and environmental management in the Caicos campus in Barbados. So all these rugby players are not just fit and strong, they're also pretty smart, you would say, Maria.
Definitely, and we know the fans in Barbados who are watching online via the stream are cheering and making lots of noise for their team.
Barbados shows and goes looking for the room out wide if they can. One-on-one. Can she get around? Brushes Monroe. Tries to get themselves out of the danger zone, but Kentiba is strong over the ball, turns over the ball, and TNT are going to have an opportunity to pop one in before the half if they move quickly. Quick tap and go to the hands of Vincent, and it's Monroe making amends for the error earlier, and TNT gets their third one. Let's hold and see as he goes to confirm with the AR, but it looks good from up here. What do you think, Maria?
I know Katara Monroe is definitely going to look for those 5 points. It never feels good to be robbed of a try, but great work from Barbados in their defense, which they are keeping up strong.
Difficult conversion for Panther from the touchline. The breeze is on her back, so she just needs to pop it in the air and let the wind do the rest. TNT strong position, 17 points to 0 over Barbados. The kick just short. Look at the replay there. Kentiba taps it quick. Vincent shifts it quickly, and Monroe is diving in, splashing over, making sure that she cruise over the white line for TNT's third try of this encounter. Nicolette Panther, the Polish rugby section in TNT, gets us back underway. The ball bonks in wayward. No one wants to get it. Afia Glasgow almost picks it out of the air, but that's it. Halftime whistle goes. TNT 17, Barbados 0. We'll have more second half action, Mira, and we can expect maybe more of the same, or can we expect the fight back from the Bajan women?
Trinidad and Tobago definitely looking strong here, but you never know what happens after the halftime talk.
A sea of red in the stands as we see everyone conversing, having a good time. Everyone is just jolly in the crowd. Festive atmosphere. The house DJ is really playing the music to keep everyone alive and in spirits.
Have to wonder how many people are ducking work today to be here in the stadium. The school children are able to come in their school uniforms and rep their schools. There's a great school program in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're so happy to be able to showcase this level of rugby to our youth.
As we see most of the Trinidad supporters in their red or black, really patriotic colors for TNT, and we see all the families are here. As we see the youngsters waving to the crowd, so excited to be up on the big screens. Very happy to see the youngsters out in the masses. Excellent shot of the background featuring Arima as TNT leads 17 points to 0 over Barbados.
Speaking of families, the Barbados Bajan Pride team, they want to shout out to their families and all the parents and supporters who helped them along the way.
As we take a look through the Barbados team, lots of players play for the Scorpions and Bajan Pride. And as you look up on the screen, what's at stake at this tournament here? The champion of the Tier 1 and women's bracket will qualify for the World Rugby HSBC Sevens Challenger Series 2024, as well as the top 2 team, 2025. The top 2 teams, excluding Canada, who is pre-qualified from the Tiers 1 and 2, will qualify for the junior under 20 teams for the Junior Pan Am Games 2025 Sevens competition. And also the Tier 2 winner will be promoted to Tier 1 in the 2025 in a relegation and promotion format. So all up for stakes, every tier has something to play for. And we see excellent rugby here. A record number of teams here in the Round Sevens 2024 here at Trinidad and Tobago. As we get back for second half action here at Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima. Barbados in the blue kits, Trinidad and Tobago in their traditional red, white, and black. And Maria, what do you think the coach will be saying halftime to the girls in blue to get them all fired up for the second half?
Coach Anthony has been with the team for 2 years now, and they are seeing immense growth as a result. I think that he's definitely going to be supportive, along with Lauren Shields, in keeping them organized and on task on the field.
Back underway into the hands of Aquila O'Brien. TNT into the hands of the speedster. Great cover tackle by Jessie Durrell. She's everywhere on the pitch. TNT trying to shift the ball wide into space. There's another speedster if they can get it to her. One bounce into the hands of Monroe. The referee says forward pass signaled. We're going to bring it back, and TNT just excited for one moment, being drawn back for the errant pass. In your shot just now there was Dani Rosales, former Sevens standout for Mexico, and she was really a standout player in her time in competition. But we just make a couple of changes, trying to stop the hemorrhaging that's happening, making 2 quick changes. TNT women also make some changes as in comes 2 front row players, Teresita Dillon, as well as Aquila Lohman from the Caribs RFC Club. Referee Rosales gets us back underway. Just infringement. The referee would stop these sort of scrums just to ensure player safety. Great tackle by TNT, but even great recycling as Kanisha Vincent with a big hit. Second big hit by Vincent. The ball is shifted off again. Barbados looking for the space. This time it's Nicolette Panther up on her feet. Great contact. The ball spills out the back into the hand of Vincent, looking for the offload. It goes backward, loads of space out wide if TNT can. And it's Teresita Dillon will stop and go, and eventually gets it in the hand of Lohman. And Lohman is streaking for the line, and the substitution pays off for TNT as Lohman goes under the post for TNT's 4th try of the match.
Great work by TNT. That's exactly what you want to see when you bring on the power from the bench. Dillon drawing in the defense and making sure that Lohman was open out wide. They even had the extra player on the wing. Great teamwork by Trinidad and Tobago.
Nicolette Panther successful with a conversion, pushing the score 24 points to 0. TNT over Barbados, and that try came from excellent defense by a TNT woman, just a bit more aggressive in the phases leading up to the try, and TNT able to turn the ball over. As you just take a look at Teresita Dillon just fixing the defender before putting Lohman into space. Lohman too quick, too fast for the Bajan defense, and she got around and put it under the post, making the kick a bit easier for Panther as TNT pushed their advantage now 24 points to 0. You see excellent play by TNT going forward. Vincent with the handoff into the hands of O'Brien. She was unable to get it. Knock-on signal by referee Rosales. Scrum Barbados. Barbados just make some changes, just trying to keep the momentum going for them, just trying to keep the pressure on. Substitution is key. TNT also making some changes. As you see, Okolo O'Brien, her day is done. And for Barbados, number 8. In comes number 9 for TNT, Kyla Simon from the Royals RFC club. Scrum time, Barbados just trying to keep it steady. Looking for to shift it out wide into the hand of Darrell. She has been instrumental for the Bajan woman so far. TNT counter-rucks well. The referee says tackler not rolling away. So Jamaica, Barbados get a quick tap and they go quickly. Looking for the room out wide if they can. Direct contact. TNT met with aggression. Barbados trying to get something on the scorecard. Switching the play, but aggressive is Kentiba over the top, trying to convert this contact. Advantage being paid to TNT. Penalty for holding on, and TNT the aggressive of the two. As I see Kali's trying to get it going for TNT. There's room out wide. Can they get to Lohman? The try score from earlier. She's streaking down the outside. No one can stop her, and Lohman comes on and gets her second.
Great work from the Trinidad and Tobago team, coached by Richard Staglin.
And TNT making quality substitutions. We won't call it substitution, more impact players as they came on and they're doing the business. TNT, big lead as a kick is unsuccessful, just short, not enough power. As you take a look at the replay there, into the hands of Kyla Simons, and she misses the pass over to Akila Lauman, and she was just too quick for the Bajan women out wide, and TNT and total control in the driver's seat. As the Thea Morris gets us underway for after the try into the hands of Jessie. She just knocks it forward in the catch. Referee Rosales will stop for the line out, and it's pretty difficult as a player to keep your chin up when you're being pummeled in the first half of their match.
That's right, Kelson, but the Bajan women are still holding on strong, continuing to work defensively in this game. Trinidad and Tobago does have 2 women's teams. This is the A team, and we'll have yet to see what the B team comes with.
Strong scrum by Barbados. TNT eventually gathers it. It's Kentiba shifting the ball out wide to Monroe. She steps one, trying to elude the second player, unable to. TNT recycling the ball a bit slowly. Gets it in the hand of Simon. They're looking for Lauman, the speed out wide if they can. Teresita Dillon draws and pass into Lauman, and Lauman is over her third. There's no one in front of her. Akila Lauman is going to do TNT proud. There seems to be the AR getting involved there. The referee hasn't chased this one. We just pause to see what the call is. As you see the Bajan player gets a yellow card, you probably need to see a clip of the replay to see what just happened. The referee cheerfully gives you her marching orders, and she's in the naughty corner for 2 minutes.
That means that Barbados will be finishing off this game 1 player short.
The referee just denied Lauman her 3rd try after coming on in the first half. A first half hat-trick would have been excellent for Lauman, but the referee brings it back. Barbados 1 player short Almost 2 minutes going into this first half. We're in the referee's time as TNT smoothly moves the ball out wide. Kintiba looking for the pass, just pulled down expertly by the Bajan defenders. Great counter ruck, play on, says the referee. Digging forward, they just knock it on in the contact. Just looking back to see what happened in the replay. That late hit on the tackle there by the Bajan defender. Surely advantage may have to been played on that one, but the referee pulls it back. Lose of time added on into this one. TNT put into the scrum. Maybe the last play of this first half action in the women's category of the Round 7s 2024. Big shove by Barbados, but illegally in the wrong direction. TNT tried to take it quickly, but not into the mark where the referee will be comfortable. TNT eventually taps and goes, looking for the space out wide. It's Monroe. Can she do? And one player to beat, there's no one in front of her. She ignores every blue shirt in front of her. And Monroe goes over for TNT's, pushing the lead up now, 37 points to 0 over Barbados.
Trinidad and Tobago consistently answering the defense of Barbados by scoring more tries. The Barbados team very well supported by their Olympic committee. This has enabled them to have more regional competition leading up to this tournament.
Conversion unsuccessful as the referee calls a halt to the first half. As you look back at Monroe just gliding down the pitch. No blue shirt can stop her, and she's been unstoppable in the first half so far. TNT leading 37 points to 0 over Barbados as it awaits second half action. Apologies, final score here in the women's action. Apologies, 37 points to 0. Just a bit excited to see more of this women's action. And TNT successful over their counterparts from across the pond, we see.
We definitely can't get enough seeing our home team play to a home crowd. That is the end of that match. Trinidad and Tobago successful over Barbados as we go to the highlights.
As you see, Kintyre Monroe streaking down the line for the first try for TNT. Just doing the do for Trinidad and Tobago in this one, getting their noses up front. Kick unsuccessful by Panto, but TNT kept up the pressure, and it was Kintiba this time that ran in and streaked in from just past halfway line. No one in front of her, and Kintiba got herself going for Trinidad and Tobago. Panto successful with the conversion. And was Monroe, who was denied the try earlier, gets over for her second of the match in the corners. Kick unsuccessful. And then we see the action with Lawman just streaking around, adding another for TNT. Close to the post. Conversion successful by Panther. And then Lawman got another going in the corner, adding extra points for TNT. Up next in more women's action is Jamaica versus Dominican Republic. Stay tuned.
Love the passion. Dominican Republic against Jamaica. What a day we're having here at Larry Gomes Stadium. This is day one of the Rugby Americas North 2024 Sevens Championship. Brian Kelly alongside Maria Thomas. Maria, you must be pleased with how that last match ended up.
Well, absolutely. As much as I tried to be impartial doing commentary, it is always exciting to see our team performing well. And we're definitely excited to have such great competition here at the RAN Sevens.
DR captain Denise Zambon gets us underway. Excited to have these two teams back on the pitch. Penalty here for DR to get things underway. This is the first game of the day for these two outfits, electing to go for a scrum.
An exciting fact about the Dominican Republic team, they have a milestone. Patricia Comas, this is the first female head coach of the Dominican Republic's national rugby team. She has been a trailblazer for women in Dominican rugby.
Amazing. Congratulations to her. We'll see how well her team does today. Hopefully they have a great tournament. Up hard into contact there is Zambon, once again the captain. Annalise Varga, she's brought down about 10 meters out now. Plenty of new faces in this Jamaican roster. Don't forget the top women's side in this competition. And then we have our first try of the match. That's Adriana, the vice captain, Adriana Castilla, touching down for the first try of this game. As I was saying before, the top women's and men's team qualifying for the HSBC World Rugby Sevens Challenger Series, so plenty at stake here this weekend, Maria. Conversion attempt from Zambon is unsuccessful. That's Castillo, the vice captain, as we get another glimpse at it.
If the performance of the men's team from Dominican Republic is anything to show us what to expect from these women, they are going to be coming out fast and furious.
Good tackle there from Charlotte Gordon. Stutter step from Zambon, finds her teammate back inside. That's Molina. The referee's gonna bring that one back.
The Jamaica side here finding their flow within their team. Always exciting to see the players that are pulled in. Jamaica has a very dynamic international program with their national athletes who are stationed or training abroad.
Zambon, the captain of this DR side, plays for the New York Rugby Club. Up into contact now. Morris. She recycles that ball, spun out from Gordon. Through the hands of Blair, that's the captain, Veronica. Smashing down that far touchline, Mercedes Cole. Good hands here from the Jamaicans. Not gaining a whole lot of territory though. Here's Walker Humphreys. Finds Walker. Great defense from DR. Spun out by Walker Humphreys. Close to 10 phases now, but not gaining any territory. And this is energy sapping stuff in this heat here in Trinidad and Tobago. Good double tackle there from DR. Not rolling away is the penalty though, so in favor of Jamaica.
The Dominican Republic really fierce in their defense. Jamaica gaining ground only from penalties.
Referee Caleb Hector having a discussion with this DR side. From Trinidad and Tobago, refereed, at the Challenger Series. This is his third RAN Sevens competition, also as part of the Olympic qualifier in Canada. These tournaments are vitally important for growing athletes and the sport of rugby throughout the Caribbean, as well as match officials. We've got match officials from Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Canada, Mexico, and the United States here. Jamaica, no strangers to that HSBC Sevens Challenger Series. Competed around the world in the last couple years. They will be looking to get back in by qualifying, by winning this tournament.
Gracie Martinez just taking a sub there for the Dominican Republic team. She is a veteran player on the team and has played with the NYRC and Atlanta Harlequins. She recently received an honorary doctorate in sport leadership for her philanthropy developing youth rugby and advocating for mental health.
There's Bonnet. She gets the ball out. Great burst of speed here from the Jamaicans. Wow, that's been stolen brilliantly. No, playing the ball at the breakdown is the call, says the referee, Caleb Hector.
Jamaica bit by bit inching up the pitch. They're looking to cross this halfway point and start making some offensive moves.
Not going to hand there. That one's spilling through the hands of Shea Morris. Opportunity now for DR.
Yeah.
Johanna Molina. She takes the ball into contact. Jamaica penalized for not rolling away. Back inside ball now. There's Castillo. She's got one try. This could be a second try for Adriana Castilla, but she's brought down 3 meters shy. Brilliant offload into the hands of Johanna Molina.
Brilliant work by the Dominican Republic. They didn't even blink an eye when the Jamaica team was on the offense, and they were quick to turn around the ball. Excellent defensive work, and it rewarded them with 5 more points. And here we see another 2 with the converted try.
Great shot of the replay there. That all started with Adriana Castillo, the vice captain. She's brought down just a couple meters shy by Eleanor Bonnet, but the offload was on. And touching down for that one was Johanna Molina. Very impressed with this Dominican Republic side so far in the opening 5.5 minutes of this contest. Zambon sends this one into the 22. Tackle coming in from Ileana M. Jesus. On the outside now. Great burst of speed. Here come the Jamaicans. Does she have the distance? That's Lauren Walker. She gets past one. Brilliant from Walker. That is sensational.
What a beautiful run from Walker. Great power. First 5 points for the Jamaica team. Excellent work. Jamaica has just been pushing and pushing against the defense of the Dominican Republic, and they are rewarded with not only 5 points for the try, but also 2 more points for a successful conversion. Here's the replay.
Well, she's the Jamaican Rugby Sportswoman of the Year from 2023, can lift 265 pounds, and there's the power. Playing in her 6th Rugby America's North Sevens tournament. Unbelievable stuff there from Lauren Walker. Back underway. Here come the Jamaicans. They've got some life in them nearing the end of this half. Faith Williams, younger sister of Canadian 2-time Olympic medalist Charity Williams. Here comes Jamaica.
We can feel the intensity from Jamaica as they're looking to put more points on the board, and yes, they do it.
Mercedes Cole touching down, while the first 6.25 minutes of this contest were all one-way DR. But Jamaica found some life at the end of the half, touching down for 2 scores, tying this up with an opportunity to take their first lead of the game into the sheds. And they've done it. 14-12, Jamaica. Maria, that's pretty sensational at the end of the half.
Brilliant rugby here. We love to see the good competition, the teams inspiring and challenging each other to bring out their best. Here we see the replay of that try. Jamaica managing to inch in front of the Dominican Republic as the halftime is called.
Mercedes Cole competing at the University of Ottawa, the GGs. She will be coached shortly in the new year by Canada's Olympic silver medalist winning coach Jack Hanratty. Very familiar with Faith Williams' older sister Charity, having won Not one, but 2 Olympic medals for Canada. Tight contest here. Jamaica leading the Dominican Republic 14-12. Joined now by Maria Thomas. Maria, been heavily involved as chair and done every single role possible for Trinidad and Tobago. And this is the first time the Rugby Americas North Sevens tournament is on the island, on this great island nation, since 2016. Must be pretty exciting for you.
It's definitely exciting, and we are so proud to have so many teams who are here. It was a similar situation in 2016. We love hosting our friends and our neighbors in the region for rugby in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, we were in Port of Spain in 2016. Now we are in Arima at the Larry Gomes Stadium. It's a great opportunity to spread the rugby around and really involve the community of Trinidad and Tobago, without whom nothing would be possible.
Talk to me a little bit about, I know there's a 100-year history of rugby in Trinidad and Tobago, but for anyone who doesn't know, tell me a little, give me a quick overview, the elevator pitch of what rugby is like on these 2 great islands.
Rugby is incredibly dynamic in Trinidad and Tobago. It is a brilliant location for tours, so anyone looking to come on tour, you are most welcome, and many of the teams and unions competing here will welcome you to their islands as well. There's so much to do here and a great range of competition, from our national programs to our dynamic and absolutely fabulous clubs. Our schools program is incredible, and we're getting so much depth there. You can have tours in the north of Trinidad, the east of Trinidad, the south of Trinidad, and you can't forget Tobago. It's absolutely brilliant.
Beautiful island with some very welcoming people. My 18 hours so far on the island have been fantastic. Excited for what's ahead over the next couple of days. This is the Rugby Americas North 2024 Sevens Championship from Larry Gomes Stadium. Jamaica will get things back underway in the second half with a 2-point advantage against the Dominican Republic. And, well, a tale of 2 halves in the opening half. DR controlling the first 6 1/4, and then Jamaica taking the reins back into the yellow players' hands. Around the outside now. We will have another try here for Jamaica. That's unbelievable, the swing in this game. So Jamaica will be pleased with how this one has started.
Absolutely. It's still anyone's game, Brian. That's the beauty of rugby. So many exciting plays that affect the result at the end when the final whistle blows. That's a successful conversion. So Jamaica moving ahead early in this second half.
Great shot of the replay there. Offload coming in from Veronica Blair. Too much pace on the outside. Mercedes Cole. That's her second try of the contest. Playing in her second Rugby Americas North Sevens tournament. At restart, not going 10. Referee going to go with a quick tap here for DR. There's Ashley Amparo Mora. Big collision in the midfield now, but the ball is knocked on by DR.
Hosting has another great opportunity, which is all of the people within the rugby union who are so involved in developing and promoting rugby locally are able to access the international stage in so many capacities. We cannot thank our volunteers enough for all the ways that they are making this tournament possible.
Brittany Roy's stepping on the pitch, the dental school student. Speaks Chinese, which is interesting. There's your fun fact, playing in her third Rugby Americas North Sevens tournament. Kicked along forward there, but going into touch.
You can feel the intensity from the pitch. Jamaica changing the way this game was looking drastically from the opening. DR still holding their own. You can see them communicating, just trying to get back in their formation. And Jamaica definitely looking like they've found their legs on the Arima soil.
Field here at Larry Gomes Stadium is in pristine condition. Couldn't ask for a better turf here for this weekend competition. Still quite hot out there for these two sides. The Under Armour throw, not often seen in international test matches, but it's international sevens, but it's on the mark. That's from Charlotte Gordon. Nobody asks how, they just ask how much, and that's perfectly on the mark, setting the platform here. Eleanor Bonnet now. Faith Williams. Here's Jamaica on the attack once again. On this near side, she's rumbling on. That's the try scorer, Lauren Walker. She's hard to bring down. Good offloading here from the Jamaicans while falling down. That's the captain, Veronica Blair. Charlotte Gordon now finds Bonnet once again. One player on the outside. Wow, we will have another try. This time, Faith Williams touches it down, 24-year-old. Faith Williams extending the lead here for this Jamaican side. Great replay. Conversion attempt now. Through the sticks, adding the extra 2 points. So 26 unanswered points. Great replay here. This one just gets around the outside. And pretty easy trot in there for Faith Williams. Trying to get back for that one and make the tackle. There is Ashley Amparo Mora. But the Jamaicans, 26 unanswered points. 28, excuse me. That's unbelievable. What a turnaround. 4 tries and 4 conversions. Well, that's clinical, Maria.
Definitely, we see Jamaica getting into position to receive the ball. DR coming up for the kickoff. She takes it quickly and is running straight through the middle.
There's Zambon. She's still going. That's unbelievable. The captain. Oh, just slips through the hands.
That was an incredible tactic, though. No one was expecting it, and she just about made it all the way through the middle of the H.
Denise Zambon. She's been electric in this contest so far. Impressive. As you can see, a lot of hands on hips, a lot of tired bodies. It is hot. High level of humidity here in Arima.
These first games of the tournament are always a test. Playing in a new environment, even if it's similar to your own, is definitely something that takes a little bit of adjustment.
Under 90 seconds to play in this one. Free kick awarded to Jamaica. Deep inside their own territory. Here's the try scorer, Williams. That ball is swatted. Referee says backwards. There's Royce. DR look to steal this ball. Advantage here for Jamaica. Williams spins it out. Huge hand fend on the far side by Walker. Plenty of space on that far side. Here's Williams. She's got one player on the outside. Well, this could be another try for Jamaica. That's Ania Smith. A long way to go, and she's got the legs to do it.
Perfect example of fresh legs on the pitch. She has just come on and proved why she was called onto the pitch.
Ania Smith, the 27-year-old, touching down for another try for Jamaica. The 27-year-old promotes pre-literacy for children aged 3 to 5 years old. And makes music in her free time. She also scores tries in her free time as well, as we can see here today. There will be time left on the clock for one last restart here. Watch the replay. Williams sees her on the outside. That's Ania Smith going about 65, 70 meters. Legs are burning at that point. Under the sun here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Massive, massive run. Unfortunately, the kicker didn't have to do that much running, and there's another successful conversion for Jamaica.
Alexandra Martinez Mitchell off the pitch now. Ruth Gonzalez on for Dominican Republic. Getting us back underway is the captain, Veronica Blair. Well, she grubs that one along.
Well collected by the Dominican Republic.
Up hard into contact there. Amparo Mora not releasing penalty against the Dominican Republic. Already 1 minute and 10 seconds into extra time. Well, Jamaica men's team did this as well. They didn't kick the ball out and ended up playing about 2.5 minutes of extra time. Unbelievable pace here. That's the captain, Veronica Blair. Huge burst of speed as she touches down to put the icing on this Jamaican cake.
Absolutely, it's wonderful to see the athletes so eager to get as much playing time as they possibly can.
This women's competition, 6 teams. They're going to play a round robin against every other team in the competition, then get reseeded. Whoa, look at that one. It was off the lower bar, bounces up in the air, hangs there for about 2 to 3 seconds. Unsuccessful. Well, we're back underway. Well into the red now. Here's DR. Up into contact is Gonzalez. Big double tackle. That's Smith and Talbot for Jamaica. DR pinned inside their own 22. This should be the last play of the game. Zambon spins it. Little show and go. Burst of speed on this near side, gets past one, gets past another. She's brought down. Bit of a high tackle there from Blair. Referee saying play on. Jamaica have stolen it. Here's Blair. Not exactly sure why we're still playing on here. And they've done it. What a turnaround. DR scoring the first 12 points of this one. And then Jamaica righting the ship. And then touching down for 40 unanswered points to secure their first victory here in Arima. 6 tries, 5 conversions. 2 tries for the Dominican Republic. Jamaica staking their claim as one of the favorites in this competition, winning their opening match 40-12 over the Dominican Republic.
And here we can see the women in the women's competition division. It is a round robin. Barbados, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago A, and Trinidad and Tobago B. We've just seen Jamaica and the Dominican Republic. An incredible game. Dominican Republic came out on fire in the first half.
Up next, TNT men and Mexico men feature in the Tier 1 division. As we said earlier, winner of this qualifies for the Challenger Series 2025. Trinidad and Tobago in the familiar red, white, and black colors. Mexico in the black and the green and white, sorry. Mexico strong favorites as well as TNT to really get a good result here. And the first showing for the local boys here today. Can they do what the local women did earlier, securing victory? TNT in Tier 1 men's action.
His Excellency, the Ambassador of Mexico, Victor Hugo Morales, is here to see these games and to support the Mexico team. As they prepare and get in position on the pitch, Trinidad and Tobago men kicking off to Mexico.
TNT is going to get us underway. Rory O'Farrell, familiar name for people in the rugby world in Trinidad and Tobago. The O'Farrell name is synonymous with rugby in TNT and Caribs Rugby RFC as well, as Rory gets us back underway. Nice high kickoff, plucked out of the air by Mexico, trying to shift the ball out wide. Gonna test the wingers' tackling ability here. Mexico bumps into one, big tackle, clean take in the contact. And Mexico are just doing the dirt here, trying to get it out wide, the overlap out wide if they can. One bounce picked up. It's Shaquille Knight trying to make the tackle on the number 1, Juan Pablo Martinez. He eludes him just for a little bit. Advantage signaled by the referee as TNT is not rolling away. Mexico decide to be safe and play for territory. They're going to kick it into touch. That seems to be number 2, Nicholas Falcon. He's going to dink it down the road for Mexico, just getting them into the TNT half. Exciting stuff here from the boys in red, white, and black. TNT, a mixture of boys from both islands, as we see in the shot there. Nigel Barlington from Tobago, he's going to be represented for the sister isle, as well as Keyshawn Walker. They're all in the scorecard as the ball gets us back underway. Christoph Cole gets the ball for Mexico. He just drops it forward in the contact, snatched up by O'Farrell, and he's there just looking for the space. Jareem George with the ball in hand, popped off to Keon from TNT, and he just knocked it on in the contact. Keon Sylvester from the Loughborough University in the United Kingdom. He's getting his first start here for Trinidad and Tobago. Mexico, as you know, featured in the Challenger Series not too long ago. They want to get back in the action, and they have an opportunity in this tournament to get back on track. Hopping and skip, looking for the space, wrapped up in the contact. That's Agbula Silverton just stealing the ball right out from under him. Mexico over the top, and they take it back excellently. That's the number 6 for Mexico. That's who gets us underway. The referee just pulls it back. Knock on is the signal.
Great position for Trinidad and Tobago. Still 0-0 on the scoreboard in this match. Both of these teams are looking to make sure that they place well in this tournament, an opportunity not only for the Challenger Series, but also to qualify the age grade team for the Pan Am Sevens.
First scrum for both teams as the shot of the opposing scrum halves there. Jareem George from Northern RFC is going to get us back underway. Big shove by the boys in green, eventually picked up by TNT. Showing and going, can't get the ball away. Mexico have the opportunity to pinch it if they do. The referee says play on, but counter rock is good by Mexico. George gets us back underway, and it's Taylor trying to skip out of this one. He's wrapped up in the contact by Diego Sanchez. And TNT doing hard work to get out of their way as we see Jareem George puts it to the boot. Can he get there? Mexico tries to tap it. He takes the player out. The referee says play on. Mexico have the opportunity to get the ball going, and they do. Looking for the space is Mexico. TNT solid in defense. Counter rock solid by Barlington. Eventually shift off by Nicholas Falcon, and they're getting the ball out onto the wing. One-on-one, Mexico bunches into it, eventually taken down, but it's popped up into the hands of Diego Sanchez, and he's looking for passes, and his feet just gave up under him. But Mexico still have possession, and the lion's share of it at that to boot. And Mexico going on the outside is number 5 for Mexico, Andres Rodriguez, excellently taken down by the captain, Shaquille Knight. But they are deep in TNT territory. The show and go, the big bump, and it's over. Nicholas Falcon gets the first try for Mexico, and they draw first blood in this encounter.
Mexico looking very calm, cool, and collected from this bird's eye view. I'm sure it doesn't feel that way on the pitch, but they are rewarded for their composure.
Mexico being patient, just chipping at TNT's defense, and Falcon was able to get over the line eventually. TNT players just need to move from in front of the post, but concentrated effort by Mexico so far to really hack down at the TNT's defense. And as we highlight, Christopher Cole, the under-19 player that stepped up to age grade. He was a standout in the RAN U19-15s tournament in Jamaica as well as Mexico, and he's now graduated to the senior men's outfit, and he's just continuing the good work he did, and a great production coming out of Mexico. Andres Rodriguez trying to keep TNT at bay, eventually taken by Barlington. He tries to bump off a player, but he's wrapped up by the Mexican defense. TNT trying to get themselves into a positive position, just shifting the ball out wide. It's Keon Sylvester, big bump, a little too high, signaled by the referee. And the captain, Dite, gets TNT back underway, shows and goes looking for the space, looking for the runners. Hop and skip by Keon Sylvester, and he is up in the line, and Dite picks and goes once again, looking for the support. It's Silverton looking for an outlet, eventually into the hands of O'Farrell, and he's looking for the space. Ballington with a room to work. He pops it back inside to Jonathan Taylor, and it seemed to go forward on the bounce. The referee right on his shoulder, and if Jonathan Taylor had picked it up cleanly, he may have been home for the races.
Absolutely, it's great to see Trinidad and Tobago using the full strength of the team, working these plays. Mexico is very disciplined, and you can see the wall of green in their defense. So Trinidad and Tobago is definitely going to need to spread them from side to side and look for those opportunities.
TNT making some changes. As we see, Jareem George is substituted. In comes Dante Hazard from Defense Force Rugby Club. Very athletic player, very young, vibrant player, and he's going to bring loads of energy for the TNT team. Scrum time, Mexico. Very patient start by the boys in green as the ball shoots out to the wing. Mistake happens. Can TNT get it going? Backdoor pass by Agbula Silverton to the boot. Goes Jonathan Taylor. Can he get it back? Mexico quick on the mark. Penalty signaled by the referee. Needs to play it on his feet. Quick tack by Jonathan Taylor, looking for the room out wide. One bounce into the hands of the captain, Dite, and he pushes through, looking for the support. But Mexico are there, and he's holding on, signaled by the referee, and is turned over with excellent work from Andres Rodriguez.
I have to admit, I'm holding my breath up here, watching as we are in overtime for this first half of the match. Trinidad and Tobago looking to even the score, but Mexico knows what to do, kicking the ball out of bounds.
So halftime score, Mexico 5 over TNT 0, and Christopher Cole just dinking it into touch. It's opportunity for both teams to get a big gulp of fresh air. End-to-end action, still anyone's match. A converted try will put TNT in front, but great work by Los Serpientes of Mexico.
In July of this year, our under-19s and women were hosted in Querétaro in Mexico, and that was an incredible competition. It's such a great opportunity to get to face off against some of the same players here in Arima and to return the hospitality.
Clear blue skies here in Trinidad and Tobago. Excellent atmosphere as the house DJ really gets the crowd pumping. Everyone in the red, white, and black just here supporting all the rugby, and we have an excellent show going on. Lots of Caribbean countries, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We welcome you to Trinidad and Tobago, and we encourage your development. Up next, last fixture of the day is women's action. Mexico women take on TNTB.
And we can see on the screen there His Excellency Victor Hugo Morales, the ambassador of Mexico to Trinidad and Tobago, out to support the teams. He always gives us such incredible support, helping with schools, union campaigns and caravans, and always showing up to support the teams. And finally, we're able to bring the Mexican teams here to Trinidad and Tobago so that he can watch them in person.
We're back for second half action. Mexico kicking off in the green and the white kits on the left-hand side of the screen. High kick, TNT under it. Shaquille Dyke doesn't take it on the first take. Knock-on signal by the referee. And not the start that Mexico would like. TNT get the put into the scrum.
It's still anyone's game. Mexico in the position in the lead, which is what they'd hope for, but 5 points is not enough to make them feel safe. Trinidad and Tobago, of course, will be working on a strategy to turn that around.
Scrum time, TNT. Dante Hazard to put it in for the TNT team. Gets out O'Farrell, looking for the big run. He pops off the deck quickly, trying to get the ball going. One bounce into the hands of Jonathan Taylor. He's isolated. He's looking for support. Hitch kick goes. He goes himself to the Mexican defenders, eventually taken to the floor. TNT trying to get themselves on the front foot. Agbula Silverton with the dummy off the ground, pick up, and it's Barrington on the edge. Can he get away from the tackle? He brushes off one. It's three coated defenders on him, and he's eventually bundled out into touch. Barrington from the Harvard RSC club just did as much as he can, but just ran out of acreage.
It looks like the Mexico team knows that Ballington is and has been a top try scorer in the local leagues, making sure to defend him, not with one, not with two, but three defenders as he's barreling up the wing, as you can see in this replay.
Just run out of space, and sometimes they say the touchline is an extra player as Christopher Cole gets us back underway, shoots the ball out wide to the number 10, and they're going to try to get around the outsides if they can. Mexico just flirting with danger. TNT, big up tackle, trying to slow down the Mexican march, but Mexico in total control with the ball and excellent handling, getting the ball from end to end. TNT just easing under pressure, just trying to compress it. As I see Diego Ramirez tries to contest that tackle. Cole gets us going again. End-to-end passing. TNT absorbing pressure excellently into the hands of the big man, and he has his hands free. Gets it, the offload. He pops it. Taylor is on him like white on rice. Tackling Nicholas Falcon just short. Recovers the ball, but the referee signals penalty here. Offside seems to be the call. TNT turned the ball over after excellent defensive work. TNT making a substitution. Off is Kian Sylvester. In comes Keyshawn Walker from the Rollins RFC. Lives in Tobago, and he's the second representative from our sister Isle in the team as TNT taps this penalty quickly into the hands of O'Farrell, looking for the runners, freeing his hands to Agbula Silverthorne. He eludes one tackle, gets it to Shaquille Dyke, the captain. He's looking for space. Big hit, hospital pass, we said, but the tackle by Andres Rodriguez isn't enough to put down the strength. That's O'Farrell. TNT just holding on in the contact, and TNT surviving a big smash as Mexico gets us back going. Big run there by the number 13 for Mexico. Doesn't seem to have a name for him, but TNT is just absorbing pressure wave after wave.
Great control in that tackle there. Player returned safely to the ground. It's great to see how much consideration the players have for player welfare, and that's a great example of it.
Big run by the number 13 for Mexico. Penalty signal for TNT as TNT was over the ball quickly. O'Farrell is going to try to take it quickly. The referee is not happy. He'll bring it back to the mark, and TNT very resilient on the defense, still trail 5 points to 0.
Here we see Trinidad and Tobago going for the kick. Going to let the kick and the ball do some of the movement up the pitch.
As Mexico make a change, in comes Alejandro Ravilla. He's going to make his way on as Christopher Cole gets a break, and TNT also make a substitution as in comes Smalls for TNT. Isaiah Smalls from Defense Force Rugby. He comes in the number 5 for TNT.
0.
Line out time for TNT. Great set piece by TNT into the hands of O'Farrell. He dinks it through, and it's a substitute. Isaiah Small, can he get it? Excellent way to kick. All he has to do is forward, and TNT is back on level terms with a highlight reel for the ages. Great vision by O'Farrell. He looked up, saw the space, the fresh legs of Isaiah Smalls. He'll do his brother proud. His brother also plays for the Defence Force rugby team as well, and the Smalls family can be pretty happy with that one, as O'Farrell looks for the conversion, scores level, hashes the kick, so the score remains 5 apiece to both teams. An excellent work. If you could get that back on the replay, O'Farrell getting the ball and popping it into acres of space behind, and Small with the jet boots gets there and puts it down for the local boys. O'Farrell gets us back on the way. Bouncing ball, dangerous for Mexico to get, and as Bernardo Hernandez eventually gathers it. TNT trying to stifle out Mexico in deep into the half. Big range in tackles coming in by TNT, trying to make that aggressive defense, and Ballanton shoots up trying to make that big cover tackle, but Mexico is inching their way out of danger. Tackle after tackle, as I see Isaiah Smalls trying to wrestle the Mexican defender down. Pick and go on the short side, TNT caught napping, but the sweeper for TNT just closes down the acreage. TNT eventually making the contact just on the halfway mark. Mexico looking for that money shot, coming into contact there. We see the knock on by Mexico. Agboola Silverton steps it up, pushes it off, and this could be the winner. Agboola Silverton is going to win it for TNT in their first one of the day. Heartbreak for Mexico. They led at the end of the first half. TNT come back with 2 in the second, and it's come at the man, come at the hour. Agboola Silverton, no stranger to scoring tries, and he scored a belter of a try to get TNT up in front and take victory in the first match of the day. Conversion successful. Just take a look at the replay there, into the hands of Agboola Silverton. Big left foot step, big push off, and Agboola Silverton, he does this in his sleep, getting TNT in front and just putting the cherry on top. TNT lead, winning this one 12 points to 5 over Mexico. Up next is women's rugby action, and almost a replay fixture. This time it's women's rugby action. It's Mexico women taking on Trinidad and Tobago B. That will be coming up next. At the final whistle here, in Tier 1 rugby here, TNT 12, Mexico 5. Result for Trinidad and Tobago. They're going to start their campaign on the front foot, taking on a very dangerous Mexican men team. And Mexico has been on the Challenger Series before, and they're really wanting to get themselves back. First match done and dusted. TNT just doing what the crowd and the coach will be happy for this result. As Trinidad and Tobago men coached by Larry Mendez. As Mexico got first blood in this one, scoring first, but then Trinidad and Tobago got it going, and it was the brilliance of the kick from Rory O'Farrell. He got it, and Isaiah Small was flying through the space, and he put TNT level into the second half. But then come at the man, come at the hour. Akbula Silverton, he stepped one, brushed off another, and TNT got the lead. Last play of the game, pushing the score forward. Just an icing on the cake. Rory Farr just putting an exclamation mark on that one. TNT, the victors, 12 points to 5 over Mexico. Up next, women's action. I'm Kelson Figaro alongside Katie Wurst, and this one is TNT B versus Mexico women.
Great to be back, Kelson, with this exceptional contest. We had the last of the day, day one. So much energy and excitement as we see Trinidad and Tobago with the kickoff. Mexico well taken right at the 10 meters.
Mexico in the white, green, and black strips. TNT in the black and red. TNT B playing against Mexico women here, trying to get themselves in this one. Isabel Gonzalez, she gets her way through, brushes off one, and she's very hard to take down. Can she make it all the way? Mexico draw first blood in this one, and it's Isabella Gonzalez to put Mexico in front.
Truly couldn't ask for a better start there for Mexico, really getting on the front foot. They're full of energy, wonderful to watch. Have electric speed, and they just have great cohesion always, so fun to watch.
First got a glimpse of Isabella Gonzalez earlier this year in July. Mexico playing their first ever 15s fixture against TNT in Querétaro, Mexico. As Ramos' kick goes wide, the score remains Mexico 5, Trinidad and Tobago 0, as we just take a look at those highlights.
Weaving in, just splits the two defenders, and a nice little bump off to the side. And a solid chase by Trinidad and Tobago. Good stuff by Kalina Burke to never give up on the last play. And a deep kick to get this started.
It's Oliver trying to get her way going in the try area. The referee is just going to confer to AR there. TNT unable to clear their lines and clear their pressure. Just conferring with the AR that is really if it's a try or not. And the try is signaled. TNT too slow on the mark, and Mexico hit them the double punch early in this one.
Exactly what La Serpientes is really looking for straight away, is to just put some points on the board early, establish themselves. They have long-standing tradition of excellence here at the RAN Sevens tournament. Always a contender for the finals. And they do score at will. And they have great ranging ability to kick as well, too. Love the effort from Crossover, sports like soccer and others that really go quite well for the Mexico team.
Mexico up 10 points to 0 over TNT B in this one. As Ramos gets us back underway. High kick, TNT unable to catch it at first take, eventually taken in. And TNT steaming up the chart there, looking for the room. Can they use it into the hands of the captain, T.S. Davis? And she just takes a lot to get her down. She makes about a 10-yard advantage into the hands of Special Ryan, and they're trying to loose the ball out wide if they can. TNT needs 2 grabs before they can get it down. Mexico over the top quickly, but TNT just didn't release in the tackle. Just inhibiting the player there, but 2-on-1. Mexico is in for the better if they can. And over the try line for Mexico is Giselle De Leon Torres. She gets over for Mexico's 3rd of the match.
De Leon Torres is the finisher, but really it was an excellent job of just looking cross field, seeing where their support was. Some great unselfish play by Mexico. But Trinidad and Tobago holding on. You see they are great hard charging runners and tough to bring down. Unfortunate part is when they run away from the support, and then that creates opportunities because Mexico is so quick to get to the ball. They create turnovers all the time.
Conversion of the uprights unsuccessful. So the score remains 15 points to 0. Mexico over TNT. And the try scorer, De Leon, represents the Tigres Cubs in Mexico. And she's going to have her whole club on SportsMax, Rugby Pass, and America's North Side watching her from in Mexico. I'm sure Monterrey, Mexico is proud of their product as Ramos gets us back underway. Nice high kick. TNT unable to get it at first, but Oliver eventually takes it down into the hands of Davis. Davis looking for her support, gets it out of hand into the hands of Aaliyah Davis, and she shoots a wayward pass over to Kalina Burke. One bounce into touch. It'll be Mexico put in deep in TNT territory.
Yeah, Leah Davis would have maybe done a little bit better just to take that ball to ground. It's sometimes difficult. It creates that sort of 50-50 ball in limbo when you're under pressure, being tackled. There's a great setup for a line out, uncontested.
Mexico shift the ball early. Knock on the call, but TNT offside from the set piece as Ramos tried to take it quickly. Mexico gets us back on the way. They're going to try to score another before the half, and the try score earlier this time is the number 6 for Mexico that's going to get us underway, and that's Alessandra Bender, and she is a try machine, and this won't be the first time we see her go over the whitewash today.
And Bender Cruz just cool as you like, slicing through. She absolutely has a great field vision, the ability to see the field, but there's so much to be said for Ramos as well. Ramos sets everything up, is an exceptional player who's currently playing for the Berkeley All Blues in the U.S., finding opportunities for herself to just get involved with the highest level of the game. And I just love the ability for Mexico to work together and to create some really creative, brilliant play.
Conversion successful as we take a look at the highlights. Bender just cutting through TNT's team for her first of the match. Ramos gets us back underway. High kick. Davis is under it. She doesn't want anything to do with it as it rolls close to TNT's trial area. And Mexico are going to try to put pressure as TNT knock it back into the try area. And it's a try for Mexico. Errors, a miss for TNT.
Yeah, very difficult for Davis. Handled it under pressure, did the best that she could with the really tough circumstance, and you know, Mexico just jumped on top of it, creating an opportunity, right? Fortune favors the brave who goes for it. And this is Trinidad and Tobago's second team in this tournament as well, too. So it's a great opportunity for more players to get minutes and represent their country in the jersey here. And really, Mexico's getting a solid contest to be able to work out some of the kinks and get through some of the nerves of day one of competition.
Just to shed a light on TNT's women B team, a lot of young women that just upgraded from age grade 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds coming up into the mix, get an opportunity to get some regional rugby in.
You can see in this replay, Davis really handles this quite well considering, but there's that pressure coming on from Gisela De Leon Torres. De Leon Torres has just been known for this tournament to create havoc for others.
The ball gathered up by Kalina Burke, and she's going to try to push her way through, just get TNT a little bit forward. She just knocks it on in the pickup, and that will be the halftime whistle. Maybe TNT can breathe a sigh of relief just to stop some of this hemorrhaging. 27 points to 0. Mexico will lead TNT-B as they go into the half.
And you just have to give so much credit for the TNT second side because it's really giving them an opportunity to play one of the top programs within the women's side of this competition for years. They're always finals contenders, goes down to the finals, and this is what you want. As you know, Kelson talked about the ability to graduate through the age grade programs and to move on into the years. So the score line doesn't necessarily reflect what it is. It's about really learning opportunity and getting these players the chance to play at high level under pressure.
As well, Katie is going to give inspiration to younger women looking on. As we see, it's a great opportunity. They can see the pathway. If they work very hard, that they can eventually make it this way. And one of the steps to make it out there is be part of this representative B team that's just going to do wonders for their morale and really encourage these young women to continue playing the sport.
Right, there's going to be some substitutions that come in here at halftime. Certainly, Aaliyah Davis will take a seat with Chanisa John is going to be coming on for Trinidad and Tobago. And you got to love to see the ability to rotate players, give them some different looks at different positions as well, too. Just making the development opportunities available are so critical to growth of the game, especially here within the game of sevens. And you can see it in the Caribbean Islands. The opportunities are really just presenting themselves and the players are stepping up.
There must be nerves aplenty for some of these young women playing in front of their countrymen and women. It's going to be a difficult ask, but that's part of the growing stage as being a young athlete and getting the opportunity to get the exposure when you can. I'm sure both of us as youngsters felt the pressure of playing at such a tender age.
And truly, you got to love the idea of having a developmental pathway, of knowing that you can play and move to the next levels. Look at opportunities. There are college scholarships across the country available for women now. It's an NCAA emerging sport. It's just wonderful to see everything that can be done here. And we have Mexico and Trinidad and Tobago, and the women's division of this tournament is really putting their hands up, saying we're here and we're representing our country and doing exceptional work. You also got to love, Kelson, the camaraderie between the men's and women's programs. You see them all rooting each other on and getting involved and learning from one another, which is one of the best parts about this global game.
In the shot is Alessandra Bender, and she loves to just keep putting very red colors in her hair. As we see the green streak of Mexico, Los Serpientes is proud to be part of this, and the rookie on tour normally walks around with their serpent and has to take care of that for the entire tour.
Yeah, Bender Cruz is really an exceptional speedster. She's great decisions. Look at this versatility in her kicking ability as well.
Great take by TNT, the number 14 there for Trinidad and Tobago. Fayan Johnson, she gets us back on the way for TNT. Excellent catch by her. Knock on in the end.
Get set for the scrum here for Mexico.
As we see Bender getting herself back underway, causing all sorts of problems for TNT. Looking for the space outright. The switch comes in, but excellent tackle by T.S. Davis, the captain for TNT. Back into the hands of Mexico. Pops it, it goes forward in the contest. But the referee is not happy with the height of the tackle. Mexico get the tap on the penalty. TNT needs to get back quickly. As you see Mexico try to get us back underway, is the captain Rodriguez. She's going to tap and set the play back going. Mexico with the set piece play, looking for Bender. Bender shows and goes, pops it out the back door. Big pump of the legs by Mexico, and she's over for the try. Mexico number 5, Gloria Estefani, she gets herself under for another try for Mexico.
Beautiful job, Gloria Espinaldo. Bravo, finishing the job that was done. Phenomenal work by Bender Cruz as well, too, to finish and just find some ability to create gaps for one another. Their cohesion is exceptional here, and they're looking really sharp as on day one of competition.
As they take a shot of Bender there, she's instrumental in most plays and everything that happens. As we take a look at the shot of how Mexico get themselves over the line.
And great support, good line of running, and valiant effort there by Trinidad and Tobago as well too, just trying to do anything they can. But you gotta love, like, they don't quit on it. They finish with a tackle. It's the best way that you can, especially when it's a bit lopsided of the score line, but that doesn't reflect the effort that you're putting in.
Mexico 6 tries and 2 conversions so far in this one. Totally dominating the TNT-B team. Special Ryan just unable to gather it. Eventually taking it 2 turns to get it in her hands. Penalty signaled by the referee. TNT tap and take it quickly in the hands of Oliver, and she's going to try to get it going to the captain. The ball just not going to hand. Eventually gathered by Burke, and TNT recycle well into the hands of Oliver, and TNT just running out of acreage, just out into touch, and the extra player from Kenesha John was too hard.
Kenesha John absolutely had some try-line fever in her defending half, saw that there was space to go with, but just ran to touch. And it's truly just about making sure that you can keep your line spread cross field, making the defense work the more space that you utilize, and they just ran out of real estate.
As we see Rodriguez comes and makes her way onto the pitch for Mexico. The substitute comes on. Line out time for Mexico. Well done. Mexico looking to shoot it wide into the hands of the try scorer, and she's almost taken down by Burke. T.S. Davis comes out to give some assistance for TNT. Tackling, not rolling away is the call. So she got the ball, but she got it illegally. And TNT just looking for that positive light to try to remove that 0 off the scorecard.
And Burke has so much energy and just presented what was certain to be a sure try with that overlap that they had on the outside.
Rodriguez shows and goes, almost gets through, but not on the watch of T.S. Davis. She was alert and there to stop the danger. Switches it back to the short side. Mexico have numbers out wide if they can use it. Show and go through the gap, looking for the extra player. She doesn't need it, and Mexico score their 7th.
Aurelia Rodriguez Camillus is the one who finished this one, and that was just absolute beautiful reading of the defense, seeing whether they were going to stay home or spread out, and really made that bit of work. It was artistry and the ability to draw a defender or be able to just go through the gap yourself.
Difficult ask to convert your own try when your lungs are burning on fire, but almost getting it there, just a meter or two short. Mexico pushes the score up 39-0 as we just take a look at the excellent support play by Mexico.
And there was a little bump off right there, created a little bit of separation, but you love to see Kalina Burke not giving up. Again, every try scored has been a contested tackle at the end. So Trinidad and Tobago making it difficult, really making Mexico work for it.
Error of the kickoff, free kick for TNT as TNT brings on Electra Dennis onto the pitch from the Harvard rugby section. T.S. Davis just trying to pull her troops together, just try to give them the confidence needed to get themselves a positive end to this one. 39 points. Mexico need TNT just under 2 minutes. Maybe a big ask, but TNT can still put some points on the board as this pass just goes behind, but scooped up by Mexico, and TNT is saved by the touchline.
Yeah, Trinidad and Tobago caught a break there with Mexico just stepping over. Looks like we'll have a line out. They certainly have had opportunities. It's really just about working on those ball handling skills, the ability to watch it into your hands while you're under big pressure. So you have to give some great credit to Mexico's ability to sort of force errors in terms of their defense, the pressure that they apply.
A bit scrappy on the lineup by TNT, putting themselves under all sorts of pressure. Mexico on top of this one, but not going in straight is a call by the referee. TNT deep in the half, and they really need to find some magic or some setup to really get themselves out of danger. They've been excellent on defense and just need to switch defense into offense as the captain, T.S. Davis, gets herself going. Pushing forward is a TNT woman just outside their 22-meter line. Mexico quicker to the mark, but the referee says tackler not rolling away, and TNT get another opportunity to tap and go. Last game of the day, first match for them, and they're going to try to finish this on a high as Electra Dennis starts to push her way through, trying to get TNT closer to their half. Counter rock is good by Mexico, and as the substitute gets on with the ball, it's Rodriguez, and she taps and goes, looking for the support if she can get it. Mexico shifts it out wide. Ball just hits the floor. TNT pushing and trying to get it out. That's Kalina Burke, and she's been everywhere trying her best to stop the Mexican march.
Yes, Burke absolutely has a motor that never quits right there. So a difficult set of handles on that last little bit. You can see that it's like the waning seconds here into this contest. And Mexico has had a good run so far. Trinidad and Tobago learning quite a bit, making some adjustments. They've had some good chances, good looks with ball in hand. They've just got to learn to put several phases together successfully.
And Burke represented the Sauer RFC, and Coach Kyle Strong will be happy to see his work in the age grade category moving his athletes forward to the senior team. As we see the scrum time comes, the referee says it went out the same channel, so you're going to have a reset to this one. TNT, tons of work to do. We're in referee's time, so this may be the last put into the scrum. So we're going to need something spectacular from the girls in the red and black in order to get themselves out of the pickle that they're in.
Great pressure from Mexico once again. There's some space towards the outside if they can get the pass off.
The ball not going to hand. Eventually, TNT fall on it, looking for room. T.S. Davis comes on the blind. She's going to try to do it herself. Shifts in, looking for the room. Just needs an offload. TNT pops it off the floor, but the Mexican defense is good. And that name that we keep calling for TNT, Kalina Burke, was there, and she just got knocked out into touch. And I don't know what motto she uses, but we need some of that gas for us up here.
Absolutely a well-oiled machine she is, and what a day, Kelston. Exceptional work by all of these athletes, and really getting a great feel for Trinidad and Tobago here. An exceptional day of rugby.
The final score here in women's action: Mexico 39, TNT B 0. And we'll stay tuned as we just rock back the day and give you highlights from the day's action.
And here's a good look for Mexico. There's almost too many to count here, the number of great highlights this Mexico team has. Individuals that can score at will. They do phenomenal work, just trouncing some defenders coming forward, and that was phenomenal work by Isabella Burgos. And then getting it to Gisela De Leon Torres, who's been a big name here in this competition. Isabella Burgos, once more a good shot at this one. Looping through, making it look easy, but Trinidad and Tobago always has a few just following up towards the end. You see that depth here in this line, and slicing through is Bender Cruz. She has been everywhere. And they have the ability and the range in terms of their kick and those conversions, which is definitely going to come handy as we get into the finals. Moving through the tournament, Trinidad and Tobago under big pressure here. That was Burke. And one more good shot there. You gotta love the support constantly in play. Gloria Espinolda Bravo was the try scorer in this one. And again, a beautiful look at a nice conversion as well. The space towards the outside, a little bit of a bump to the outside, but she'll take it herself and finish the job for Mexico.
As we take a look at day 2 schedule, it's gonna start with TNT-B taking on Dominican Republic in women's action. 3 women games start at 9 o'clock tomorrow. TNT women take on Jamaica, Mexico take on Barbados, and then we go to men's tier 2 action. Turks and Caicos Islands versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Dominican Republic versus Curacao. And then we go back to men's tier 1 action. It's Canada versus Bermuda, followed up by Barbados versus Guyana, Mexico versus Cayman Islands, and Jamaica versus Trinidad and Tobago. And Mexico versus, and that one, following up after lunch, TNT take on Dominican Republic, and Barbados take on TNT-B in women's action. Switching back over to the men's tier 2, where Turks and Caicos will take on Dominican Republic, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines will take on Curacao. And men's tier 1 action is Canada versus Barbados, and Bermuda versus Guyana. Mexico then take on Jamaica, followed by Cayman Islands versus TNT. And then to close off the day, more women's action: Mexico versus TNT, Jamaica versus TNT-B, and Barbados and Dominican Republic will close off the proceedings on day 2. That's Kelston Figaro and Katie Wills up here. We're going to bring it down to Brian Kelly down and Maria Thomas at pitchside.
Thanks, Kelson. What a fantastic first day of rugby here in Arima, Trinidad and Tobago. We are 9 games in of 52. I know it feels like it was a big day today, but we've got lots more to come over the next 2 days. I'm joined now by Maria Thomas, president of the Trinidad and Tobago Rugby Union. Before we get into the results of today, Maria, I want to get your perspective on things. Months and months and months of planning go into an event like this. Everyone arrived, everyone kicked off, and we've had a great first 9 games. It must be exciting for you.
It is absolutely exciting, and we are so grateful to the Ministry of Sport and Culture, the Sport Company of Trinidad and Tobago, and all of our supporters, especially our rugby community and the community at large of Trinidad and Tobago. Without everyone who has put in so much hard work, as you said, for months and months, this would not be possible. And we're so excited to be hosting our friends and our competitors here at Larry Gomes Stadium.
Okay, let's take a look at the results from today. It was an electric day from the opening kickoff to the final whistle. Let's start with the men's Tier 1 competition. Jamaica narrowly defeating Cayman Islands in a thriller, 22-21. Jamaica setting themselves up to look really good going into the second day. Barbados defeating Bermuda, 19-7. Canada defeating Guyana with a blanking 29-0. And then the upset of the day, the host, Trinidad and Tobago, winning 12-5 over Mexico. That's a huge result for this home side. Hopefully it'll boost some buzz and on around this island in this great country to get some more people in the crowd here for day 2 and day 3. Let's look at the Tier 2 men's competition. Curacao defeated Turks and Caicos Islands 31-5, and the Dominican Republic blanked SVG 46-0. In the women's competition, Trinidad and Tobago defeated Barbados by a big result, 36-0. Dominican Republic lost to Jamaica 40-0. That's 40 unanswered points for Jamaica, all looking like it potentially could be a fantastic thriller in the ending of the women's competition. And Trinidad and Tobago B were blanked 39-0 by Mexico. So lots of rugby still to be played here, Maria. As a former athlete and someone heavily involved in the game of rugby, how are you feeling going into, the second and third days of competition here?
Well, I'm feeling amazing. I love the first day because everyone's finding their legs on a different pitch, getting used to the competition, and then we're only going to see growth and more excitement in the days to come. Full day tomorrow, Saturday, full day Sunday. There's rugby action here at Larry Gomes in Arima for the entire weekend.
On behalf of Rugby America's North, World Rugby, SportsMax, Rugby Pass, and all of our contributors and partners involved in today's broadcast, stay tuned for tomorrow, and we're going to send it to some fantastic highlights of the day, and we'll see you tomorrow and Sunday for the second and third days of competition. Good night.